I have made some adjustments to the ratings. Yes. Small adjustments. We'll cover these more later. Alright, so where do we want to start here? We did medium amenities already. We did the path upgrades. So we got a enclosure going in there. That maybe is the thing to do. We're working on Psittacosaurus. Right, because we're going to see if the Psittacos and the Coelophysis end up being a problem, and out of curiosity. And I suppose while all that is happening, we can work on the eventual next paddock. Actually, let's start that immediately because I want to fix the slope here. So we're going to kill... How did we... Okay, what was the problem exactly? Why did this not work out correctly? The problem was that once the car was connected up, it wouldn't do it right? Yeah, I think so. Hey, Zavir, how's it going? Welcome to stream. Welcome to stream as well, Zero. Yeah, okay. So I think if we just kill the path from about here to about here, then we should be able to probably make this not suck. Yeah. And get the steeper embankment only when the tour vehicle's not already there. These cars need to get out of the way. 3 AM for you. Damn, alright. It is substantially later for you than it is for me. Okay, now these cars are not interested in moving either, which is annoying. But I think this is enough. Alright, let's fix this then. Edit the tour route, put it back in. Alright, so now we got this nice sharp slope. I think it's something like that. Maybe it doesn't need to be this far back, but I think it will be. We could make this like a longer, narrower exhibit. That's not a bad idea. You visited the Natural History Museum in Paris 2 months ago? Very nice. Can't say I've ever been. This one's not gonna quite work out right. We gotta kill this. Okay, so the question's going to be, do we want to keep the slope or cover it up in some way? It was fabulous. I would imagine it's got to be pretty cool being in Paris. Museums are fun. It's great to see some actual dino bones. I want to build a little bit of this. So... yeah, some decent field of view. It's not exactly completely unbroken, per se. We could consider dropping it lower. Carnotaurus skeleton. Yeah, there's only one Carnotaurus skeleton, so if you see a Carnotaurus on display, it's extremely likely to be a replica. I don't know where the real Carnotaurus specimen is housed, actually. That's the one of the animals that's easy to know for sure that it's not the original. Let's maybe play with the idea of doing this. The problem is, it's about as steep as I can get it without having to redo the whole thing. So maybe we leave it well enough alone. We're gonna, oops, keep going on the park build here is what we're gonna do today. We're gonna work on the Ceratopsian exhibit, Triceratops territory or whatever, and go from there. While we continue to populate the main sauropod paddock and these other surrounding paddocks. Psittaco is almost ready to go, so that'll be part of what we do. Now, I remember seeing... Okay, first off, I did have a request. Interesting hatchery. Request to look for Unicron. Somebody's got some Unicrons. Okay. I remember there being like some retaining walls or moats or something. I want to take a look at these. Yeah, concrete moats. Retaining wall segment. Let's check this out. Let's see how this looks. But a dinosaur dictionary, but it's got a lot of issues. Well, it's something. Hopefully they're like mistakes made by a real person and not like AI mistakes, which is the big thing now, is everybody cutting corners, generating garbage with AI. Moat. Okay, that's pretty tall. This still might work. So in theory, we would do something... This is so hard to tell where I am right now. Exactly. I guess we want to line it up like right with the fence. Ugh. The, okay, I think it's probably best if we just place it and then try to fine-tune it. I mean, for one, yeah, we don't even know how well it's going to look. That's not bad. I like the lights. The gap is, interesting. But we could put, like, a concrete piece here, I think. Published in 2018. Okay, yeah, 2018, it's probably, far enough back. That's not just wholesale AI generated. It's just sloppy or whatever. Yeah, okay. So, like, that gap there is maybe what I'd want to close. I don't know why it's kind of annoying how the controls to move it are like fixed. Maybe there's another way I can like move those around. That looks pretty good though. Okay, so if we duplicate, and then we just essentially slide it along like this, and this should be the whole thing. So I guess the question is, yeah, we just kind of want to line up those wires ultimately. Kind of like that. Okay, this side's plugged in more. I can't do this. Oh, God. Yeah, that's not what I want to do. So it should move slightly. That looks pretty good. Hey, Rugops, welcome to the stream. We're doing a thing. I think it's interesting. Okay, let's stop for 1 second. So this is, yeah, this is pretty good. There's like a slight dip in the terrain there, but it looks like it's not really visible. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I wish there was an easier way to like paint it in a sense, right? To just like propagate it down the line without having to do it like this, but it could be worse too. So how's my day? How's my life? They're going. They're about as good as they can be, all circumstances considered. Okay, we don't need to have these like completely perfect. Just get them close enough that the wire connecting part looks correct and call it good. Yeah, like that's good enough. Hey, Mutasaurus, welcome to the stream. The news today was pretty funny. Which news? There's always news. Chibi reviews crash out you mentioned last stream. Yeah, vaguely. I do vaguely remember this. Is there a hotkey to duplicate while I'm, without having to hit back? I don't really see one. I suppose I could do, wait. We can make this better, right? If we do, this. Confirm, make blueprint. Wall 2. I guess we probably don't need the whole blueprint, but like, blah. Okay, now we can get that back as a singular piece, right? Except for the fact that, well, I guess the rotation is correct, but the height will be wrong. Is howdy a common greeting in the U.S.? Somewhat. I kind of say it more ironically than anything originally, but maybe it's become a little too common. Yes, I am doing some modular building. Well, I mean, this piece was stolen from the workshop, so it's not that modular. But so if we just highlight these and don't make the blueprint, and then we do duplicate, yeah, that works too. Howdy might be more common, like, unironically in the South, too. I am a northerner. I'm a very far northerner. Okay, and then so it snaps me back to the original set, which isn't that bad. This works. And the question becomes, how much of this do I actually want to convert? Maybe all of this? Oops. Did I duplicate that one? I mean, it probably doesn't matter. Wait, oh, that... Okay, that remembers that it's a singular piece. Very interesting. That's cool. Okay. His fiance cheated on him with his best friend, and all his friends sided with them instead. Well, maybe because he's a piece of shit. Is that what it is? Busy talking about gross anime reference, political shit. He's busy being the cuck of one of the cheating hentai stuff. Yeah, it's certainly a thing that happens to people, huh? Well, not familiar with it, but it sounds like it could happen to a nicer guy. So, there is a slight gap. So, we're getting long enough that it's a little hard to align. I don't know. Jeez. That's... Yeah, that's a smidge too far. So if we see it through, it's definitely not quite right. How do we construct sentences in English? What are the most important rules? Well, the rules are there are no rules. We just say shit. Our language is a mongrel language. That's pretty good. All right, maybe one more section and then we cut it off and go call that good. We can leave a bit of a gap here before we do the stegosaur enclosure. That's probably okay. Like where all this jungle comes in. I kind of want to use the plains for the ceratopsians anyway. So, I mean, they're like our rules for English, but any rules there are for English are also broken all the time. So it's like, it's completely inconsistent. I'm also not a linguist, so I'm not exactly the best person to help you with that. We can get pretty far with a very poor understanding of our own language. Yeah, there's a lot of that kind of shit people getting with underage people before it's legal. That's I mean, that's pretty much the definition of grooming, right? So that is pretty textbook. Okay, I think that one we placed just about perfectly. All right, and that gets us this far. I could call it there. If I do another whole segment, it's going to cut down here into the jungle. Actually, I like doing another whole segment. That way it stretches past the T-Rex paddock. So let's do one more. Actually, let's start the episode. Welcome back to our alternate universe, Jurassic Park. We are building the Ceratopsian enclosure, Triceratops territory, which will be where our, well, Triceratopses are. There's this nice moat wall decoration I found on the workshop with these nice red lights. We're using this as kind of a retaining wall to go up against the edge of the track here, essentially, and then the herbivore enclosure here is going to be slightly recessed. Basically, what this decoration is a little section of fence here with like one light. And then we've just duplicated it and then like expanded the blueprint and duplicated it and so on and so forth to get it all the way down here to the end of the exhibit. Now, of course, aligning this properly is an exercise in patience, especially when you get something big and it's hard to tell where the alignment is versus where your controls are. See, like, I think there's like a tiny gap there maybe, but it's damn close. I think it's good. I can't see any gap. Yeah, it's hard to tell if there's a gap because you get the white outline, which kind of deceives you. Now, I did notice here that, yeah, at some point, the wall got a little bit weird in its positioning. And the height is maybe a little weird here, too, with this doing a weird zigzag thing there. Interesting. So if I do... lower terrain to flat, raise terrain to flat. So if I do lower to flat, that shouldn't change anything else there, right? Yeah, it doesn't actually do anything. And if I do flatten, then this is definitely too high. That, of course, ruins the rest of the terrain. Well, I'll have to fiddle with this a little bit more to get this exactly how I want it to be, but I figured I'd just include this, how we're doing this in the video, just to, demonstrate it. Yeah, and then we were working on Psittacosaurus, which is coming along here. And since I had to delete this track to get this wall to be as steep as it is, the cars have currently reset. So let's go check out the hatchery. No, we were processing Psittaco. We had Diplo eggs. That's what it was. Did we finish processing the full genome? We did. This is what we had for our female, a brown, patternless, going for the more paleo-accurate look. 100% lifespan, 75% humility. Was there a reason I didn't go with 100% humility? I don't know. I mean, I might as well crank that. If I had a plan, I don't remember what it was. You need a break. Fair. I'm going to do this because we can do this quick. And then we can hatch them quick, and then we can do the Diplos. Because our first wave of Psittacos are going to be test stock for cohab with the Coelophysis. We're going to see if the Coelos do just kill them, which I kind of expect them to. Alright, video paused. Alright. Ukraine is planning to make English its second national language. Interesting. That, it's too bad we don't do more to help Ukraine. Let's just leave it at that. President's a bit of a shit. Did I do anything special for Valentine's Day? I watched a movie with my girlfriend. We watched one battle after another. So, solid movie. Pretty good. So I think if we want to fix this, we probably need to delete the trackway. Yeah, I'm actually, I really like doing this like long linear path, kind of riffing on the novel, because it's resulted in some fun options for aligning with the tour vehicles. Like doing this kind of moat wall thing really wouldn't work very well if this wasn't perfectly straight. And this is kind of the only situation where this sort of exhibit like comes together decently. I'm pretty happy with it so far. Yeah, Valentine's Day can be tough for people out there. It's you have everything in your face letting you know that everybody else is out doing romantic shit. Like when you're you know, single. I could definitely say this having spent the vast majority of my life single. Okay, so the height level here is still being a little weird. So the question becomes, why is that? Is this at a slight, incline? It's slowly descending down? You watch Primitive War, even though ageable to rate the movie? Not bad. Yeah, I still haven't watched Primitive War, but I do intend to. Unfortunately, I had plans originally to try to watch it as like a group thing for the channel, but for obvious reasons, that's probably not a thing now. So, at some point, I'll probably just watch it for myself. I could try to do like a commentary track or something. I've been kind of meaning to give that a try. Yeah, I was single for I don't know, first 35 years of life pretty much, so I definitely became used to it. So we got this section here. It's a little weird. There we go. Nobody's got their bitches. It's okay, you're all my bitches. uh, okay, well this is also being real fiddly. That like little spot there that really didn't want to move is strange. It's got a little hole here. This is all pretty good, though. So let's try and fix that. Which I guess, yeah, as long as we don't cross this, actually, the slope in here doesn't actually need to be as steep as it is. So then we got this problem. Now, why did this go to shit? Okay, yeah, you could see like here that the terrain level is like right at the edge. Then as you go further back, it tends to get lower. Oh, here's where the terrain changes height, at least partially. Okay, so maybe I just want to reflatten all of this. And then we'll redo the bottom edge. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I imagine Primitive War will feel like for me too. Is like fairly fun, not high art, but probably better than it feels like it had any right to be. It's kind of the impression I've gotten from what I've heard about it and like what little I have seen of it. I've stayed away from generally watching much footage from it, just kind of as a rule almost. Yeah, so we definitely want that height line. I'm going to be really picky to be inside of this. Okay, maybe it's easier if we just push it, like, properly inside and then redo from the bottom. Because it's the top part is the part that's hard to get right. And the bottom shouldn't be that bad once the top is good. In fact, I think we might be able to use one of the terrain tools to make this a little bit better. Well, that one went to shit. That was a bad spot, but it's weird kind of how it really doesn't like to move sometimes. It's probably something to do with the fence that makes it a little weird. All right, I'm just gonna go crazy. All right. So if we do lower terrain to flat, no, that still does that. Okay. 9.5 out of 10. That feels really high. But if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Roblox and the Half-Life 3 community are somehow connected. How is that? I don't know what happened with Roblox, though. 1 meter snow in Belarus, quite a long time. Someone literally used a liquid snow bucket for Minecraft. Oh, you're just saying, is that like an analogy and like the snow got dumped essentially? I don't follow Roblox, but I am big on Half-Life. Oof. Yeah, it's not gonna work super clean here. I could consider leaving the fence elevated. I don't like it. I don't like leaving the fence elevated. We could put in more concrete. What if we put in more slabs? What's the next time I'm going to play Minecraft? I don't know. I almost played it yesterday. It's very much a whenever I feel like it type thing. Whenever I kind of have time and feel like it. So yeah, no schedule, but I do want to play some more Minecraft. Okay, I think what I'm going to do, this is too hard to get it to work consistently, so I'm going to push this back in, interior of the fence, and then we're going to expand the concrete slab on the top. I think that's the way to do it. Yeah, Half-Life 3 drama, like, is almost a joke in itself, in that, like, all the Half-Life fans are kind of over it. We've been waiting for Half-Life 3 for 20 years, like, it's all just a joke to us now. It'll come eventually. I genuinely believe Half-Life 3 is on the way. And when it does, everybody will be ecstatic. But, like, nobody's genuinely, like, losing their minds over it. It's all kind of a joke. Everybody's playing a game. Yeah, we're in an era of some unpleasant consequences of long-term business practices, let's say. All right, so let's drop this. This corner's not quite there yet. Okay, yeah, then here we have, like, it's almost good, but it's so hard to keep it consistent that we get these little gaps. So maybe we do... What if I take this one? Grab this, duplicate this. Okay, that's just on a grid? Can I just do this forever? Would I ever play Minecraft but with the Xenomorph mod? I have played Minecraft with the Xenomorph mod. I did do, like, not as like a series or anything, but I have played with the... I did a Galacticraft plus a AVP mod for Alien Predator stuff. It's pretty cool. I don't see myself doing that as content because it doesn't really fit with any of my themes on my channels. It's kind of a weird thing. If we had more of a variety theme, I would do more stuff like that, but... Oops. Oh no. I didn't put down an extra slab on top, did I? No, it looks good. Yeah, Cryo, I really was buying very strongly into the Chaos Theory DLC being like set up by the animal choices, and Cryolophosaurus does kind of like undermine that. Here's the thing, right? They could still be leading into that. It's just the Chaos Theory DLC probably not. Okay, something weird happened. The alignment's fucked. Probably not coming next. Oh, the alignment's fucked because these aren't perfectly gridded. Yes, that's why. But if we turn this off, this is all smooth concrete anyway. So we just got to fix the last one and it'll be fine. Edit group, grab this one specifically, and move it over. Oh, is it? It only wants to be on the grid. What can I do about that? Edit height. Is there no way to turn off, like... Yeah, dinosaur mods in general are surprisingly popular for Minecraft. I could just leave it. We could put in... Well, no, I don't really want to put in a barrier back here. How do I fix this? I mean, I kind of will need a barrier because of where the gaps leave off, but we'll fix that with other terrain things. Split from group? Ah, that works. Bingo. We got there in like record time. All right, looks good enough to me. I think there is a tiny, from the right angle, a tiny gap, but it seems fine. You wish there were more mods for Minecraft Java than Bedrock? I mean, there's a decent amount of mods for Minecraft Java, too. Part of the problem is they're kind of all over the place and in mixed states of development. And then, like, yeah, you got, like, Jurassic Craft buried behind, like, a paid... what do you call it? What do you call the thing? I literally have one. Patreon. That's it. You got Jurassic Craft behind a Patreon paywall. And then you've got other ones that are on like Discord servers and aren't like completed properly yet. Okay, so I think this is just going to be undeveloped, and then right about here is where we'll start the Stegosaur enclosure, so there'll just be kind of a gap. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to smooth the bottom. Well, that doesn't do... Oh, I didn't actually click it. Yeah, smooth bottom is what I want to do. So we'll keep this ridge in a decent position by doing this. And then we can remove the steepness of that, but still keep the upper part positioned. And then here, we just want to kind of get it to conceal that gap, if we can. Without affecting the perimeter fence, which actually doesn't extend to the very end. Let's look at the positioning here. Oh, you mean good dinosaur mods. That's fair, yeah. A bunch of them are pretty jank. 100% fair. Okay, this is put slightly at the end. Let's adjust this. Actually, I can't tell with the friggin' trees here. That's probably good enough. And I can't tell if the height level is going to end up being the same. I guess we kind of need all the build. It might be slightly higher. So we're gonna have to do more with this gap here. That's probably fine. Let's get the other part of the fence in here. So I'm gonna go maybe 2 gaps. Well, this one is not gonna make it anyway. Let's just run it like that. And then somewhere in here... Jurassic Park has had a couple of weird collabs with other games. It's probably down to like the controlling companies and whether or not they want to work together and what they envision for their brand. Yeah, Nintendo can be pretty greedy. I mean, is there anything in like Smash Brothers that isn't a Nintendo property? I'm like not overly familiar with the Smash games. I've played a few of them, but I've never been huge into them. So we do have like a gap back here, but it is kind of ringed off by mountains, so it's not really like that usable. Question becomes, how are we going to get a Jeep to have access to this enclosure? Maybe back over here. They can enter from the far end, like loop around. It's probably okay. I'm not gonna... I mean, that's a lot of money. It's ethically dubious. What would Hammond do? I don't think Hammond would sell an egg. We'll just reject this. I'm not going to include in the video. It doesn't matter. Actually, yeah, we're at $6 million as well. We're doing pretty good there. Let's get this reattached. I kind of forgot we deleted this. So we've been losing money the whole time. There was there's something weird had a Jurassic collab. It was some like weird like second tier Fall Guys game or something. Like not Fall Guys, but like a imitator that ended up with like a Jurassic Park collab. And I heard nobody ever fucking talk about it. It's so weird. Like these like under advertised, like very questionable low tier collabs. Very weird stuff. Alright, Citico eggs 6. We'll just grab all of these. Now I'm going to dump, I think, all of these in with the Coelophysis. And if the Coelophysis, once the Coelophysis kill one, we'll sedate all the Coelophysis and move them out. I would rather have these guys on the boat tour area than the Coelos. Stumble Guys, yeah, that's it. Stumble Guys had a Jurassic collab, I think. Which was just strange. Strange and untalked about, for the most part. And 2 females here that we can do once we have 8 more genetics. Which we could probably do with points. Nope, you're capped out. Oh, you're the one that's incubating anyway. It's these 2. If I put a point into him, that leaves me with a 9 logistics. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. That's fine. Let's get these going. All right, 9 logistics left. Do we have an expedition we want to run? I probably haven't researched any of the next animals to add. So let's take a look. So we could knock out Trike. Where's Notosaur? Here. So Noto, Trike. We'll do Styrac third, because Styrac is the one I was still technically debating on including. It's going to be Styrac. It's pretty much guaranteed at this point, but Just in case I do end up changing my mind, we'll delay that one slightly. Alright. How is Dread Empress doing? The Rex is fine. It's over here enjoying life. Okay, so we do have a wall piece. Let's look at this. We have, from one of the other parks we use, there's too many walls. Blueprints. It's like, I don't remember what it was called. It was like the edge piece. Fence terrain connector, that's the thing. This thing. Monster Wilds is getting its final update next week, and with it, the strongest monster in the game will releases 10 stars. I don't know anything about the scaling in that, so... Sega collabed with Rebirth, adding a dinosaur dimension to Sonic Racing. Is it actually, like, Jurassic? Or is it just, this is the perfect time to release dinosaur content? So maybe we line this... Yeah, let's put the fence, like, right in the middle. Like that. Okay, and then we grab the piece. We sink it down to ground level. Do I want it to the point where it disappears into the concrete, or do I want it raised? I think I kind of want it just to be disappeared. Yeah, like that. Perfect. Ooh, I like it. I think that works pretty good. Then, we can maybe smooth this out slightly. That way if a car needs to get over there for, like, repairs, it's a little more accessible than being this, like, dramatic cliff. Make it a little less jagged. There we go. I think that is pretty good. Not Jurassic. They just took a Jurassic World Rebirth and adapted it to Sonic canon, basically. Okay, so they basically did like a spoof thing. That's one way to do it. I suppose you still get your sort of tie-in without having to pay any licensing shit. Yeah, maintain version. We aligned it right with the mid line of the fence. Right about like that. Okay. Seems good to me. Still thinking about that Mogan. Sure. Not sure the contacts, but... Alright, then we could do something to get some more hills going in here, maybe. Try and make this not be so flat. They're a little crazy. Okay. How do I want to do water? Maybe I could just do like a strip of water next to the moat wall. It's kind of like the water is contained by the moat. And then maybe we go back through and we like dry it up a bit so it's not so consistent. So it just kind of feels more like there's like kind of standing water here at the edge of the moat. I think I like that. Okay. And then yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put the gate in just maybe like right here in this gap. And then clear out the trees so there's a decent path for the car to get in over here. So something like that. Alright. I like it. This, for an exhibit that I came in today with like no plans for, beyond the idea of the retaining wall, I'm pretty okay with this. Trikes will probably need a lot of wetland. Yeah, we'll adjust it as need be. I was thinking I'm going to swap the trike and stegosaur populations around. In the novel, there was 8 triceratops and 4 stegosaurs, and the stegosaurs run their own paddock, which was weird. So if we're going to put a paddock down here at the very end where the tour kind of loops like around this rock and then heads back, I think this should be like 8 stegosaurs instead of 4. And that's exactly the kind of change I'm perfectly happy to make for our twist on the novel park.
Damage over here.
Do these not go in like proper order? There we go. No, I wanted to stay in the car. I didn't mean to exit it. Alright, the view from the car as it approaches what will become the ceratopsian paddock. Not much of a view, huh? As much as I like this, we've inadvertently kind of buried the entire paddock behind the wall. We're a little bit further away. What if we're on the passenger side? I mean, you can see the back fence in there. You can see down in there. It's not as good as I want, but we can't get the car any closer to the cliff without it, like, with it being a cliff.
This illustrious theropod is one of the world's most iconic dinosaurs, and among the largest land carnivores.
It would be better as like a recessed like sauropod enclosure, but that's not how that's going to work, so... I think it's fine.
Prepared and vigilant means getting tasks done as efficiently as possible. I trust that's how you'll handle this objective.
I don't think I'm going to redo and make any changes to it. I'm happier with the exhibit visually than I am with, like, you know, how you see it from the car. So, I mean, the fence is, of course, further away than this one, but that's because of the slope. I could put... Like, I think it's fine. We don't need to overthink this. All right. Storm, I guess. Even though the icon hasn't popped up, it's already doing damage, so that's cool. I hate that it's already hit the aviary here. Okay, you're close. Get over there first. That's your priority. Let's get these Psittacos airlifted over. How long do you think they'll start selling us DLC animals from 2 as new content? I think it'll happen in the next DLC. I truly believe the Dinokairos was going to be part of the Wetlands DLC and therefore be paid content. And so I expect us to see the next DLC animal that they reveal as part of a DLC pack. I believe it. Alright, I mean, the tropes seem like they stayed contained so far. I just... Okay. It is dealt with. They are good. Did the storm icon ever pop up? I wasn't paying attention. Like, this is just already over? I guess so. That's fine. Alright, moment of truth. That Coelophysis is coming in. Or the Psittacosaurus is coming in. Let's see what the Coelos do. Also, we're doing nothing right now. Everybody is back. Let's get a job running. Triceratops. We'll put the low tier logistics on this, I guess. Let's do Anki and Nodo for the Nodo. On you. And then we can do another synth job once the Psittacos are clear.
Ladies, and the right scenery can have a profound effect on an animal's well-being. Let's see just how beneficial it can be to these animals.
Cohab discomfort's very high. Now, it does say that it dislikes carnivores, but I don't know if that includes technically scavengers. So this is why we're... definitely why we're testing this. These are fruit and nut. So let's get a little bit of their food back here in the woods. They don't need much. Nanuxsaurus would probably be a little redundant with Utaranus, so I don't see that getting added. But I mean, it is technically possible. Anything they decide to add, like, there could always be some outliers.
Asset transported.
They are definitely panicking. The question becomes whether or not the panic itself is enough of a problem that I don't want to deal with the Coelos being in here alongside the Psittacosauruses. Let's just let it play out. Let's just see what happens. Realize they can sell less animals for more. I mean, that's true. There could be some internal, you know, research on that idea. Like, the Wetlands DLC might not have just been a favor to us to give us an animal as kind of a Christmas present. It might have been a test to see what the response was, to gauge the sales, and decide whether just selling 3 animals instead of 4 was enough. Like, it's definitely a possibility. Where are my Diplos actually at? Tis a mystery. I'm going to put one over here. We'll put one over here. Alright, synthing another batch of, say, maybe... I'm going to wait on doing more Psittacos. Let's get a quick round of Ornithomimus going. Yeah, that's kind of the thing I'm surprised about, is we aren't seeing more aquatics and pterosaurs added yet. Like, from an objective standpoint, that's probably what the roster needed the most. And they probably, if they weren't going to front load the DLC animals with, like, Chaos Theory animals, right, for a Chaos Theory DLC, logically they probably should have front loaded some pterosaurs and aquatics to expand the dismal rosters. But, like, lagoons and aviaries are borderline abandoned anyway, so I guess maybe they just have no interest in, like, pushing them in any way. I mean, maybe they deliberately don't want to draw attention to how mediocre lagoons and aviaries are, and maybe part of the strategy there is just not adding new animals to them until they kind of have to. Like, if they don't give us a pterosaur or aquatic from base game for, like, 6 months, then that's a bunch of time they can spend kind of ignoring the problem. Skittish, skittish, skittish. Maybe I keep running Diplodocus runs because they are, you know, slow to produce. Kind of doing them in slot 2 is maybe not the worst idea here. I never went back out for more trike, I guess. I need to zoom the map in. There's too many icons. There we go. Didn't we just have a storm? I swear that storm just happened. I guess probably not, but, you know. Alright, well, the tornado has spawned on the cliff, which is interesting. Insert the Willem Dafoe looking up meme, because we're gonna go. Ah! Okay, well, let's make sure we got maintenance on standby. Okay, the tornado is actually not going for the dinosaur paddock, just going for the main park, so that's fine. Nobody cares about that. It is causing additional damage, though. Let's make sure the second maintenance team is going where I want them to go, which is that fence gap. Oh, this is actually a contained strip. This is just a buffer zone, so the Mahjongs are less likely to mix with the herbivores. Oh shit, the aviary's breached again. Okay, aviary first, please. Facility offline. My ass. The maintenance facility is just depowered. Well, let's get a backup generator, which is, we got a brick-walled one. Yeah, let's just chuck this here in the woods. So this is only powering our 3 vehicle buildings. Alright. Smart park planning saves lives. True. Okay, get that. The other one's already queued up, and then we'll just send him, well, nowhere because he's full on tasks. And the tornado is heading in there. Now, I want to check on the cranky Psittacosauruses. You're missing fruit, you're missing water. And it's the storm that is ultimately sinking you. I could sneak a tiny bit of water in here. Just to, hello? Did I not actually... No, the terrain adjusted, I think, but it never actually put down the water, which is comedy. Alright, we'll put this here at least temporarily, just so they're not gonna beat their heads against the fence and get burns and stuff. The Diplos seem to be already good, so the Diplos are not a concern. Hatchery check. Okay, there goes that fence. Where's my other maintenance team? They were supposed to go repair this. Where are they? Why are you over there? Okay, well, forget that. Where the hell was he coming from? Did he get, like, tossed by the tornado? Okay, I distinctly remember canceling that, but I guess not. Whatever. This is repaired, it looks like. Okay, yeah, and he's right there. Okay, pausing. Get this. You're right here. Why would you go in there, you little nerds? Okay, we just don't repair that gap yet. Because there's a bunch of Ornithomimus standing in the way. Okay, but nobody actually escaped? Great. Yes, everything is contained. Alright. Yeah, I stream on Twitch and YouTube, both. Well, the rest of this can be handled as normal. Actually, the Ornithomimus are leaving the little gap. Let's get in there and fix it. Alright, another batch.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Two more dippies. Fossil check. That is completed. Triceratops. Processing on you. And then I think we'll hold back to do a clutch of these trikes. Carnivores are... We're done with any new carnivore species. We still need more population. So that's the one thing that we need. Now we just gotta sit here and wait for this shit to get repaired. I suppose we can technically... Might as well open up the park. Like, it doesn't matter that a bunch of shit's unpowered. So this is interesting. The Coelophysis so far have not harmed us. Us being the Psittacosaurus.
we have detected power outages across the site.
So even though they panic and they're not happy about it, like, it hasn't caused issues. So if we have like a small group of Coelophysis and a bunch of Psittacosaurus, it's probably fine. Okay, that's a Coelophysis fight for dominance in this pen, actually. I saw the fight. Like, as soon as I was talking, I was like, oh, now they're going to kill a Psittaco now that I've opened my mouth. But no, they're just beating each other up. Welcome to the stream, Dylan. You really want to play this game? It's just too easy on console. Yeah, it's the balance is insanely bad. It's far, far too easy. Yeah, and if you're on console, you can't patch it up with mods, so you're kind of SOL. They got to be aware, you would think, of like that issue. Alright, Triceratops. Like, it's hard to believe they would miss it completely, but I mean, who really knows, I guess. Alright, I guess we'll crank these. Seems fine. We're looking for just 4 of these. For the full pop. We're switching the trikes and stegos around. The novel is 4 stegos and 8 trikes, but the stegos are the more social ones in the game, and the stegos have their own enclosure at the end of the tour in the novel, so it makes more sense to do 8 stegos and 4 trikes. So that's what I'm doing. Since we're doing adaptation of the novel, not doing a 1-to-1, it makes perfect sense to switch numbers around. Medical, are you... Oh, this is bracken poisoning. These are, yes, because we put in new ones. Now we need to adjust the environment. Okay, let's... Do I want to do a greater retooling of this enclosure? Because it's a little haphazard. Like, it would make more sense if we had more of the wetland around the river area. Okay, this is the one that produces some mangroves. I like the mangroves. So I'm going to do this. We're going to do wetland like this, all along the shoreline here. And then this is going to be... We need a lot of leaf. So we'll do leaf over here. And then some fruits. How are we doing on wetland? We're still above. I could leave this extra, like, watering hole alone, kind of. Probably not that bad. And then, like, this bog over here can kind of stay, too. Cover demand is fine. In fact, like, having not be trees here, like, right around the strip where the cars go past kind of makes sense. Conceptually. Alright, so the Ornithos are good. Hypsilophodon is super good. Universally across the board, yeah, the Hipsies don't give a shit. So all we gotta do is, like, make sure the Ornithos are working out. Which is fine. We are at 24, so 33 is the goal for the Ornithos. So we still want to have a few more. I may expand this paddock over further. We could even cut this down, this gap between these two pens, and get a little bit of more area recovered that way. I think I might do that. Yeah, and the Stegos and the Trikes did have swap roles in the original, our real-world adaptation of the novel, so it also kind of works as a reference to that. Good point. Absolutely true. I don't think intolerance is going to be a problem, so I think these are fine. Alright, so there's the Trikes. Dippies are on the way. We did the research for Notosaurus, so that is stuck at one dig site. Buried, yes, PA sandstone. Alright, we're going to get these Dippies going. Then we'll breed another clutch of Dippies in the meantime, I think. Alright. Ceratopsian pack or Dromaeosaur pack. The two most, like, common animals, yeah.
Asset being transported.
I mean, I'll take anything, honestly. Unironically, if they want to do a Ceratopsian pack, which I don't think they do, of course, because they've already done too many. But, like, I wouldn't even be mad about it. Because the newest animals we have are so much better looking than everything else, for the most part. Like, a lot of the old animals have no point in existing at this stage. I complained about this in a Reddit comment. Like, the JWE1 animals, some of them look like complete ass at this point by comparison. Yeah, I don't know how they tanked the economy so badly either. Like, I understand slightly how... Like, I understand... It's development issues, right? The game was, like, overly focused on the creative stuff, and that's all that they could really, like... All the development time went into technical issues and, like, artistic things. And they spent no time on, like, balance. They spent no time on, like, the animals. It's all, like, props and environmental tools and modular building. And the animals are an afterthought. Like, the males are, like, 90% dog shit. Like, 90% of the hatchlings are dog shit. There's, like, no improvements to animal AI. There's no new features that actually involve the animals in this game. A bunch of the skins still look like shit. It's, like... It's not... I'm not to be negative, but, like, my opinion is consistently dropping on JWE3 over time. Like, the more I look at the things that bug me, the more they bug me. We need to get this Coelophysis dealt with. So we'll just have to sedate him and move him over. I think he panicked from a car that came in here. I'm kind of surprised he's, like, stuck behind enemy lines, which is funny. Yeah, the gameplay takes a backseat to, like, technical things. Like, the game runs nice. It's less buggy than 2. But, like, what is actually meaningfully changed for the better with the gameplay? Like, not much. Most of it, like, the management's a huge step back. Any of the improvements made to the game from a gameplay perspective are just, like, completely undermined by the lack of balance in the economy. Like, the big upside is just, ooh, pretty decorations. Like, that's what this game realistically has to offer over JWE2. So the boat goes through there. So I might want to do something, maybe like this. That looks like an artistic choice, I guess. But then here, if we cut this down... Too close to the Ornitho. Lame.
Asset transported.
Yeah, the Seal of Fire. He's an infiltrator. He's the successfully made his way into the Citico cult.
Asset transportation.
And then we could delete this piece. Actually, yeah, we can do something like this. We can go to like here and then to like here. And then we still have this like special section here. Like this whole buffer zone still exists. We still have this little double airlock thing. That we have some extra reclaim space. All right. Seems good. All right. So he is sedated. The rest of the pack's over there somewhere. I could like grab the Citicos and put them specifically like over here. Is this going to be the final stream for the park build? It depends if we finish or not, Muto. I want this to be the last week, but I don't know if we can finish in one stream. So. Yeah, I don't... The game... I think a 6 is... It's hard to evaluate, right? Because, like, I can't objectively really judge these games as much because I really do love, you know... the Jurassic Park franchise, and part of the appeal of the game is that it lets me specifically build Jurassic Park things. But every release that goes by, we get further from the Jurassic Park aesthetic. I love the paleo-accurate animals, don't get me wrong. What I wish is that we had the same level of love for the film animals we had for the paleo-accurate animals. Like, the Psittacosaurus, as an example, is a really good example of a real-life Psittacosaurus. And then if we look at the Dilophosaurus, it is a miserable example of the Jurassic Park's Dilophosaurus. It is not paleo-accurate, and it's not accurate to the movie. Why are the movie animals not as accurate to their movie renditions as animals like Psittacosaurus are to the paleo-accurate versions? It's a Jurassic Park game at the end of the day. Like, I like having both. I just wish the same level of love and care had been applied to both. But unfortunately, most of the film animals are from JWE1, and they haven't been meaningfully updated since the first game. And it shows. They are so left in the dust. Like, even the Dominion animals look so much better than, like, the classic Jurassic Park ones for the most part. Yeah, the Microstratus in the novel were arboreal. I think in the first novel, they're only really encountered along the river cruise and the trees. So, I think if we put them over here, they'll probably stay there, and they won't really mingle as much. So I'm thinking we might airlift them and get them moved. Or we leave this group here, and then maybe they eventually drift that way or something. That could be a thing too. Because there should be like 22 of them or something. But yeah, anyway, my point was it's hard for me to like objectively rate this game. Because you can think of it as like, how do I rate this as a game? How do I rate this as a Jurassic Park game? Like, I have a lot of love for the Evolution games, but I sometimes question if they deserve it. You know? There's like an element of me that keeps hoping for the game to achieve like the level of quality that it could have. Like, it's very easy to see where a lot of the improvements in the game can be made, and they just aren't made. And that's very frustrating. Because we're like, in some sense, we're like so close. And just like the game never, JWE2 never quite made it. It never quite crossed that finish line in my mind. And like 3's not going to realistically do it either. Right? Like things like the like undercooked film skins for like classic animals, that's never going to get fixed. We're never going to get a better version of Dilophosaurus. It's just not going to happen. Like the fact that we even got a better version of Deinonychus is crazy. And like the odds of that happening again for another animal are essentially zero, I think. Let's get some Diplos again.
Synthesis procedure complete.
Yeah, like Dilophosaurus and Velociraptor are, in my mind, some of the most iconic animals in the franchise. And I also don't use them nearly enough because they just don't feel good to use. The Dilo's got some weird posture shit going on. And like... So the Velociraptor film skins are fine, but like... It's nice to have something to go off of other than the film skins, and all that's ever worth using with them is only the film skins. Like, the base colors are really shit. Like, it's better now with the male, but it's still just... Yeah, there's better animals to use.
Attention personnel.
Small substation is manufactured. Interesting. We have a malfunction in the substation, which has cut power to the end section of the park and opened the gates. It looks like we have an angry Coelophysis. Thankfully, maintenance is literally like right here at this moment. But this must be a sabotage. That's all I can figure. We did have... Oh, and the Coelophysis has escaped. We did have an event that I didn't include in the episode where we had to pick to sell an egg or not, and I decided not to sell the egg. Like... Logistically, I should have sold the egg, but I decided conceptually I didn't gel with it. You got killed by like a 30-pound lizard. That's really sad.
Transportation complete. Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a
Bro, he went in the tour. What the fuck? Get out of there. Alright, now we gotta sit and wait 1,000 hours for them to sedate him. Cool. I probably should do this, huh? At least to mitigate the threat a little bit. Alright, there he is. Yeah, why is this thing killing humans anyway? By its lonesome? Like... I do wish, the animals had more personality in terms of, like, things like that. Like, I think if a Velociraptor escapes, it mauling everything that stands in its way is perfectly reasonable. I think for other animals, they should only escape if they're, like, uncomfortable. Like, smart animals should use an opportunity to escape, and non-overly intelligent animals should not, if they are comfortable. Like, if an animal is butting a fence because it's uncomfortable, it going on a rampage when it escapes makes perfect sense. But if a fence goes down or breaks during a storm, the animal's immediately running for the gap. Never feels correct to me. Yeah, I'm sure a Coelophysis weighs, like, optimistically, like, 30 pounds. Like, you could probably kick it to death. Like, maybe it'll maul you a bit in the process. Like, you might not come out of that without getting some stitches, but you'll probably win. Right? Alright, let's do... This is... cover and wetland. We could do some fun fog, cypress swamp stuff a little bit. Maybe not too much, because I don't want it to be... Yeah, actually, let's not do that. Let's keep the front line a little more open. We'll do some of this marsh to go along with the water here that's kind of pooling by the retaining wall. I don't mind the little mangroves there. I think that's good. And then we can put more trees along the back fence if we end up wanting it. We'll just thread some of this around here kind of randomly. Alright, and there's our 4 Triceratops. No males, no more trikes. They do not breed. We can get this park opened for business again. Alright. Good. You wonder how hard you can theoretically make JWE3, like, within the parameters of the game or with mods? Because with mods, you can definitely make it unwinnable. You can, like, crank income tax to be 100%, and then you just lose. Yeah, can I pet the dog, please? Let's do another batch of Sitico. Round 2 of Sitico. We're gonna put these ones more on the boat tour specifically, rather than in the woods where the other set is. Then while that's happening, we can rest you, leaving us with 5 genetics to do a fossil load. Oh, look at all them shrimps! That's one big pile of shrimp, haha. Yep, 100%. Cool. Alright, now, there were like 16 Euoplocephalus or something in the park, despite them never actually showing up in the novel. They're literally only on the population chart. So we're going to put in a boatload of Notosaurus, which may require the expansion of this, since Ankylosaurs do have like awful environmental scaling. So that'll be interesting to play with. We've never really done a large herd of any kind of like Ankylosaurid. Yeah, anything to make it harder, like... Yeah, like, why does a para or a dryo, like, go rampaging specifically after the people? Like, a parasaur escaping, it should just be... It should be a threat only in as much as, like, it panics, right? Like, it would actually be interesting from, like, a management standpoint, is if a large herbivore escaped, if you didn't want to sedate it until it was away from, like, a guest area, right? Like, imagine if a parasaur breaks into the fence right here, and I have to make the decision, do I dart it and risk panicking it, and then it stampedes into my park and kills a bunch of people? Or do I let it, like, wander and see if it wanders away from, like, the main area, and then I can sedate it more safely on the outskirts? Like, that would actually be kind of interesting from a management standpoint. Right now, the moment it escapes, it just goes, like, on a maniacal, homicidal rampage. So there's, like, no give or take, no decision making. We need a hotel as well. Large hotels are unlocked at some level. These should probably be like 3 stars. I think we do another small. Clone shrimps and put them in your park. Yeah, welcome to Shrimp Park. We'll do a small. I think I'm going to do like 3 stars for large hotels when we mod it. So... Were we using the Safari Lodge? Have we ever actually used a Park Era hotel proper? Right, because we're using this one with this like extra bit. Let's use a regular park hotel to add some like diversity to the look. We could use one over here, I suppose, because then it covers this corner a little bit more. Yeah, maybe we put one like right here. Alright, and that gets our guest contract done. Sitico has like double the fossil space needs of Noto. Yeah, I mean, there's not much logic, I think, put into like how many fossils you need to find. It's just kind of random. Right, nobody currently available for that job. What's our visibility looking like here? Awful here. Surprisingly, this is going okay. Really, the big thing we got to patch with visibility is this hole. So the question becomes, how do I patch this hole? Also got a rogue Psittacosaurus that has escaped. We'll sedate that one and move it like over this way. Well, the boat does go all the way down here. I was going to put in a balloon tour as an embellishment. We could also try like a remote viewing gallery. But I don't know. Like, we already have a balloon. Yeah, 3 stars is when we can start adding males. I'm probably not going to do males until after we have all 15 animals in the park, though. Only then will I do the males. I think we're going to do a balloon tour. Like, we don't technically... Should we... I mean, we could be pretty sure there wasn't a hot air balloon. Yeah, a remote dome would probably be better. The balloon is a little much. I mean, you can technically start a park with 0, but you won't go anywhere. You could try to tune it to, like, a precise number that's, like, optimal for difficulty, but it's going to depend on the animal you start with. In my mind, like, making it as difficult as possible is not necessarily the goal. You want it to be difficult, but still flexible enough that you can take different approaches in early game. So I'm not looking to find, like, the perfect lowest number. I'm looking for a sweet spot that feels like we can do some different approaches. Yeah, I think if we try a remote viewing gallery, that's probably the thing to do. Why don't we research it and then see if we can make it work? Like, we could even kind of headcanon it as like a remote camera or something almost. Because that's not outside the realm of possibility. These being like 2 and 900 is like crazy. We're going to do remote viewing galleries. We're going to try and put one in here to try and get visibility up on the herbivore enclosure. We got like a big gap here that doesn't do anything. That's the only part of the park that's really bad. We got a Silico that's separated from the herd. It's being moved. We got a new batch ready to go once we get the diplos done in a couple minutes. I kind of want to put this Silico in with like where the new group will be. I don't really want to leave it sedated because it's maybe a little too close to the silos. So I don't know. I don't know if I want to sedate it and leave it sit here till we get the other batch ready or just like move it. All right, let's check this remote. So if we start the remote station, we put it, say I could put it like literally on the fence. This would be like the way to get it the most distance. We can stretch it all the way over here. This is not bad. I think I'm just going to use the base dome. I'm not going to like try to find like a perfect JP one. Kind of like it being up here on the hill. We could put it like right on the crest. Like right up on this rocky platform. That's kind of where it needs to be. Yeah, I think this works. It's conceptually, it's like part of the aviary complex, right? Like we don't really, like we know there were tunnels in Jurassic Park in the novel. We know there were like, they talk about early in the novel that there's like remote cameras that they can use to look into, like watch the dinosaurs in the park. I don't think we ever see them actually do that, but it's like on the TV, like when the, Grant and all them get to the park. So that all is kind of supported in a way. Let's do this. And then maybe I can do... Okay, well, let's kill this pylon real quick. I want to do this. Because I don't like connecting to the curb. It looks kind of weird. So if we do a little bit of this and a little bit of this, then it looks all right. And then at some point, we do want to put in like a restaurant here. So we still have this space. That will be the Le Gigante restaurant. So you know what? Honestly, that pylon was probably going to be in the way anyway. Perfectly fine. Okay, are these dippies done? These dippies are not done. Alright, well, let's let that go. Have I watched the Jurassic Park found footage? Yeah. They are pretty solid.
Here's one of those tests now.
I guess we do this medium. In fact, let's just finish this medium shopping. I'm just going to build it and then delete it. What is my favorite species of fish? Ooh, I have no idea. I've never considered such a question. What is the cheapest dino to start with? The problem is you need to evaluate, like, you you need to evaluate the cost to breed it, like its social needs, and like how many digs you need to run to do it in, the cost of the expedition. I don't actually know which one's the cheapest off the top of my head. But yeah, I would really like those Muldoon logs, right? I would love if we had an official look into like how like the day-to-day of any of the parks really function. I think there is potential in that, but I don't think we'll ever actually see it. Because at the end of the day, Universal sees this as a monster movie franchise. The big thing that those logs made me want to do is read the Dinosaur Sanctuary manga. So I can have a little bit of day-to-day dinosaur zoo action. I'm actually strongly considering buying those and getting into those and doing something with that. Maybe doing a Dinosaur Sanctuary park build would be kind of sick. I did kind of forget that we sedated a Psittacosaurus over here. I did kind of forget about this. The incredible thing is it seems like this Coelophysis left his entire friends behind, ran all the way over here to commit a murder, and now he doesn't even know where his friends are. Not only that, his territory has separated somehow. You could see the path where he ran over, but then he like instant transmission to the bottom of the hill and just ganked it, and now he's mad because he doesn't know how to get back? Little friggin' nerd. I kind of expected it to happen, and honestly, good science. If you sedate a little herbivore over here, they absolutely will smell it and go beeline to go kill it, because they are bastards. So, a lesson has been learned. He's actually kind of walking back to his friends, but he's not going fast enough for me. Well, the lawyers do sue you when people get killed, Zero. That's the thing. That you're describing a mechanic that exists in the game, but is of no consequence. Because the lawyer fees are so undercooked, they don't even matter. This is something I wanted to tune. I wanted it to be where, like, if you have, like, a dinosaur escape and kill, like, 4 people, that's, like, game over. I wanted that to basically kill your economy. Like, I think if dinosaurs escape and kill people in your park, at the very least, you should be losing money. You shouldn't just be making less. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, if you go to finances and you go to the breakdown, there's like a lawyer fees, right? Maybe it doesn't show up right here, lawyer fees. But even if somebody dies, this number is like so low, it doesn't matter. This should be the thing that makes or breaks you. And unfortunately, I don't know how to crank this number up. I've been trying to find it in the code to find a place where I can play with the scaling of the lawyer fees. I just don't know where it is. Let's talk about this in the video, actually. Yeah, we're talking about the early game balance. Let me catch back up on that. Ornithomimus might be the cheapest because there's one dig site and it's the cheapest one. I mean, at least Ornithomimus would be is a cool starting animal, so. But yeah, you do have the situation cost of doing research, which makes Gallilistra Admonto have a bonus. Dimorphodon flew halfway across the park to kill a sedated and Monosaurus and immediately left the body. Yeah, see, that shit fucking sucks. It's shit like that that just makes it feel like a video game. The animals still feel so robotic. And it's like, it's crazy. Alright, call to action 30 minutes into an episode. We're talking here a little bit on stream, while the recording was paused about, difficulty settings in the game and stuff. One thing I'm interested in, and if anybody knows how to do this, if anybody knows where the lawyer fees live in, like, the internal files, and knows where to find a number that I can crank up to turn up the lawyer fees, I would love to know where that is. I have not been able to find anything yet. And this is like the one number in the game I really want to tune. Because I think if a few people in your park are killed, I think the lawyer fees should sink you. I think realistically, if you have a bad breakout and a bunch of animals escape and kill a bunch of people, that should be game over. Because right now, there are no game over conditions. It is essentially impossible to lose a run in this game. It was very difficult to properly lose in JWE2 after like the first hour, but in JWE3, you just like never can lose. And I think that would go a long ways towards making it a little bit more engaging on a management side. You would actually be encouraged to optimize your paddocks in a way to like discourage escapes as well. Higher tier fences would be more valuable. Like I think this number right here could actually patch up a lot of the difficulty issues if you like really tune this number to be very aggressive. And I just don't know how to do it. And that's too bad. Alright, get back over to your friends, you murderer. I will read Dinosaur Sanctuary at some point. It's definitely a thing I'm gonna do. Like it's gonna have to happen. Maybe I should just pull the trigger and like order them tonight. Because I just keep putting it off otherwise. I just keep saying, I'll read it sometime. I'll read it sometime. We just gotta do it. Yeah, I remember looking at the species roster for Dinosaur Sanctuary. If I remember correctly, there were more than a few animals that don't really have. Well, they don't have an equivalent. They like animals that aren't in JWE3. But we could always find analog animals, replacements, similar things. But it's been a while since I've looked into it. So I don't really remember the details at this point. Oh, these Psittacos have wandered all the way along the cliff. Oh, they're getting weird. Okay, storm. Bruh. Alright, well, there it is. Another tornado today. Okay, you're already on your way. It's probably fine. Probably fine. Alright, let's check what we're doing here. Diplos are ready to go. We gotta get these guys out. I want to get more Psittacos so the herd doesn't break up as much, because it is kind of being a shit. Some accuracy mods do wonders for the roster there. For Dinosaur Sanctuary, spoilers, we might do a Dinosaur Sanctuary park build at some point in the distant future. Yeah, that could be cool. Definitely, like, if we want to do any parks that are using accuracy mods or whatever, we'll be much better off doing that further in the future, because those kind of mods are only really starting to come out. All right, let's grab these guys. Like, unfortunately, we're still very early days as far as modding for this game goes, because the modding community hasn't really taken off. Which is there's probably a whole discussion to be had about why that is, too. Alright, so we got the Notosaurus, which let's do that first. Yeah, we'll do Noto in this slot after the Diplos are out. So I guess since we have to wait for them to get airlift, let's start research of Styracosaurus. My precious Styrac. Send you, and then yeah, I think we hold these two back on deck. Alright. Well, let's see what the tornado holds for us. Yeah, I have like looked at Dinosaur Sanctuary. I've seen the map and stuff. I've held the first volume in my hands. Like I've actually flipped through it at a bookstore, so wait. You know what? Forget the viewing gallery. Everybody just get over here. Because you're gonna have to clean up after the other. You're at base. Okay, I think I saw the actual like the line telling you're gonna queue this up, not that it was already in progress. Okay, yeah, this is going to be a problem. Let's just go ahead and trank the 4 Majungasaurs. Like, this is already an issue. I saw the Diplo do a little loop-de-loop. That was pretty funny. Okay, so we got this double fence breach here. You are on station there. Where did the other ATV end up? Oh, you're right here. Okay, well, you should turn around and secure this. Okay, we don't need to sedate these. This fence is already secured. Cancel. Did we get this one? This one must be... Yeah, that one's down. Get back in there. Okay. Then we got this damage here, and it looks like we got a gap in the front. Yes, which is already causing problems. Oh, did I never open the shelters? Did I get completely distracted again? Because the twister was already on top of the aviary? I think so. I got completely distracted. My ATV, I need to keep you... You know what? Forget this gap. This doesn't matter. Get this. Hurry, 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 hurry. 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 Okay. Secure. This gap never got plugged, or that re-broke. What the fuck happened? I swear this got repaired. Alright, where is this vehicle? Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. You're going back that way? Bro. Go now. My cars are blocking each other.
Please respond.
Oh my god, please. You're an ATV, you're a four-wheeler. Go! You could get through the gap. I'm telling you. Why is he just sitting there?
Please resume your normal.
Are you stuck on a tree? What are you fucking doing? Unreal. Okay, now it actually did repair. Did he disappear? No, he went through the fence while it was repairing. Okay. Great. We have a tainted feeder. Somebody get on it, please. Okay, we are largely secure, although not undamaged. We can open back up for business. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize.
Yeah, a Jurassic Park prequel would be fun, but I cannot see it ever happening. I don't feel like... I don't think the people in charge of the franchise feel like that would ever be a viable show. That's just the impression they give me, based on their creative choices they make with the franchise. The closest we'll get will be, like, Jurassic Park Survival, which obviously is post-disaster. Like, I really wish we could see a proper, a proper look at, like, the full layout of the park from the movie and, like, the full species list. And unfortunately, the full species list has just never been firmly canonized, which is disappointing. Alright, these Siticos, you guys are going over here by the river on this side.
Heading to collect the asset. Task received.
Disease outbreak controlled. Great. I guess medical got in there and dealt with that after we got the feeder tainted. Alright, we're good. I mean, we're at 70% repair, but, like, we're not gonna die. I don't actually know what our star rating is right now. I don't know if we ever hit 3 stars exactly. Would like to know that. Notosaurus eggs. 2 at a time is going to be slow going. Is what it is, though. Honestly... Fucking... You're depowered? Seriously? Fine. Honestly, we could probably benefit by doing multiple slots in the hatchery, because we have a lot of animals I'd like to produce still. We could be running this, like, all day, essentially. I can't even check this. Cool. Well, I guess we'll come back when everything's repaired.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome our
Film about them trying to take back Sorna and turning into a wildlife sanctuary. Could be cool. I mean, I'd watch it. I mean, I'll watch anything ultimately in this franchise, but, you know, I would like to watch things that are good. That could be good.
Transportation underway. Assets in the air.
These guys want some cover.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome our Setaka.
Transit has commenced.
And we're going to need ground fruit here before too long, probably. Well, maybe not. Not if they're actually doing good. Oh, did they actually link territories? They did. That's crazy.
Confirming asset delivery.
Nice big herd of sauropods is always fun. Too often we only have like 3 or 4 sauropods. It is nice to have like a pile. I do like that. Alright, well, theoretically, yes, okay, this stuff is back online. Alright, fossils, none. Expeditions for Styracosaurus. I assume this didn't get canceled, right? This actually did complete. Did this complete? It did. I just didn't happen to look for it enough. Is it just the one dig site? Am I stupid? I was really thinking it was 2. Was this changed? Whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's fine. We'll put you on this task. Why don't we go ahead and get the final animal unlocked, which is Stegosaurus. And then let's pop on over to... Actually, let's pop into upgrades. Additional upgrade slots. I could have done this better, but it's only 2 minutes. Let's just do it. Styrac was removed from Dinosaur Park. Okay, I'm not crazy. Good. I was really wondering what the hell was going on there with my mind. I want to do another round of Siticos first before we do Noto. Or more Notos, I mean. Yeah, it was with things like Coretho and Para. Yeah. That sounds right to me. Okay. Great. And these guys are all cool. I mean, these guys are all cool in part because the territories actually linked up somehow. There was like a little connecting path here, which is funny. Yeah, now they're not. It's funny that we saw that happen in real time. But their needs are pretty simple. A carcass. It is one of you. Dead or Nithmine. R.I.P. Alright, Sidicos. 6 more females. No available scientists. True and fair. Understandable. Carry on. Notosaurus. 1960s style Jurassic Park build. I don't know how viable that would be. That could be an interesting thing. Picking only, like, older animals in terms of discovery timelines.
Commencing asset transit.
Could be cool.
Transportation complete.
So the Notosaurs, I kind of tried to pick skins that remind me of the real colorization of Borealopelta. Kind of this, like, you know, ruddy red-orange. But then I mixed it up a little bit. I didn't want to have them all be exactly the same color. So, you know, a little bit of a mix of different oranges, basically. 100k, sure. That is nothing. Nice if scavengers had a mechanical purpose in cleaning up your park. I agree. I think it would be cool to have, like, the the poop mechanic from Prehistoric Kingdom, and then have scavengers actually clean up after the large herbivores, which was literally why they were in the park in the novel. Like, I think that would be fun. Okay, and Styrac will be done soon. So yeah, we can get Styrac out next episode, I guess. We can wrap this up just about here. We do this on you. We got Stego ready to go. Do I want to start Stegos? I think I'm going to hold off on the Stego. I'm not going to immediately get to work on that. We want... Wait, am I dumb? Yes, it's in enclosures. I can never think of where the upgrades for the hatchery are. Oh, we also need to get these nests going at some point. We are 3 stars, so 3 stars. Okay, so here's the problem, right? One thing I want to do is I want to separate these out to 3, like 3.5 and 4 stars. So I think we can do that because we can add nodes. But for our purposes here, we're going to do the first tier research, unlock them all, and just not use them until we hit the appropriate star rating. And then we want to do... Wait, accelerated and cheaper. Wait, what? Oh, we already have additional bays. We just need the extra slots. Okay, never mind, that's fine. So yeah, I don't need anything from here actually. That's done. So then the question becomes 3 stars was going to be large amenities. Large hotels, I think both at 3. So we'll get both of those. Let's do large amenities, then we can get our Le Gigante in. And yeah, we'll leave that there for today's episode and continue next time with Stego, Styrac, and trying to finish up the park. Yeah, Stegos do feel very underwhelming. They don't feel fun to use. They have some of the worst models too. Like Gigantominosaurus is horrible. The Jurassic World Stego is horrible. Like, they don't feel great. Let's do a... Honestly, let's get a capture mode thumbnail here using this wall. So do I want to do it like from above or below? What if I did it like this? Ooh, that's kind of great. With the car, like, right in the frame. I like that. We'll probably recrop it in post a little bit, but that's generally what I think I want for a thumbnail. Welcome back to our alternate Jurassic Park build. This may be the final episode. I don't know yet at this time. Kinda hope it is, but I'm not sure we can make it. We've still got a little bit of ground to cover here, being only just past 3 stars. But we are going to be ramping up and really just coming down to focus on animal populations. So it'll probably be a lot longer from my perspective than it is from your perspective watching the video. So yeah, we'll get those Psittacos going. We got ground nests going. I am going to get the Styrax and Stegos out before we do breeding. We're going to kind of shift gears to do more breeding, I think, later. Like, conceptually, in the novel, the breeding is probably happening, you know, specifically towards the end of the park's development phase and not really during it, maybe. It's hard to say, actually. It's not really that cut and dry. Yeah, so we put you on this. And then these are just 4, so we should get these going too. Okay, that gets us, well, large amenities is finishing up here, so let's take a look at research, I guess. So, hotels is the other thing we wanted to do. So we'll knock that out real quick. But then let's look at the Le Gigante restaurant, which I grabbed from the workshop. This should be a large food, I think. Carno ribs, Le Gigante, Sticky Steakhouse. Yeah. Alright, so a big multi-tiered restaurant that can go right across from the aviary. We can literally kind of line up the roofs with the 2 different connectors for the aviary there, like that. I think I like it. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's a nice multi-tiered restaurant. You even got these, like, areas you can peek inside. Kind of interesting aesthetic. It looks a little bit like a prison, but that's actually appropriate for the novel version of Jurassic Park, where they actually do call out having bars on the windows as being like an early giveaway to the visitors that the park is not as secure as they want it to seem. Very cool. Like, I like this building. It's a very nicely designed, large restaurant. I mean, it's very large. I can't help but notice there's also a tree in the middle of it. Let's fix that. But yeah, that definitely matches the vibe very nicely. Oh, and I suppose we should probably configure it. It always takes a moment to parse it. This is such a bad UI. I think I was too soft on how bad this UI was early on, where I'm like, it sucks, but it's not that bad. I'm like, no, this fucking sucks. This is a bad UI. It's not good. All right, large hotels. I don't remember if I had a large hotel I wanted to use. Our male animals will be Silo, Deinonychus, Hypsilophodon, Maya, Majung, and Ornitho. I believe, yes, that is what I want. But we're not going to breed Majungasaurus specifically because there is no change in the Dilophosaur population in the novel. I, too, would not mind barred windows if there were dinosaurs on the other side of them. Absolutely. All right, another wave of Psittacos for the boat tour segment. And some Nodos that can come out after that. We did the upgrades, so we should probably make a pass through and upgrade everything else.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are
At this point, did we never... No, we never processed the Styrac. Let's, Oh, no, we did. It just hasn't finished. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. There we go. Styracosaurus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yes. Correct. I picked red because I liked it. These are never actually seen in the novel, so there's no information about what color they would have been. But I went red on red. Seemed fine. There will be a good amount of these as well, so I do want to crank up their stats. And then we can breed more Nodosaurs as well. And in the last slot, is there anything that I can breed with the limited spread I have? Maiasaura, is this true? Because I didn't put humble into you? Huh. Well, there's no point in starting humble now. So I guess I will do a batch of these. Alright. We should look at our hotel. Actually, let's look at our ratings. 45 and 53. 65 on guest numbers. So that seems fine. I forgot to call out that I nerfed these slightly. But I did nerf these slightly. $98 on a restroom, $92 on accommodation. So we do need a large hotel. And the restroom situation is down here, really. I guess we'll just chuck another one there. You're gonna make that big Brad Hex for the shitpost park? Alright, excellent. Excellent. Yeah, shitpost park's probably a good one for like next time or something, I think. For our next park. Maybe try to make it like a 1 week park, like a real quick one. Kind of a 1 week, 2 episode gag park or something, rather than like a full run. But it'll be fun to put a bunch of shit in there. Right, I was gonna look at hotels. The Grand Hammond Hotel. Oh, is this like a large and a small, maybe? It must be. I kind of like the idea of tucking this like way back over here. It doesn't really want to be on much of a grid either, but that's kind of fine. Oh, the cliffside picnic table is pretty nice. Yeah, this is our super exclusive resort, I guess. What the fuck is this path doing? Why is this only curving? The fuck? That chair's a little lost. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I guess actually maybe I should flatten this more to like the cliff edge. It'll look a little bit better that way. And then that little raise can stay there. I think that's fine. What in the fuck is happening? Maybe we kill this? Oh, there's already a path here. Ah, that's why. But it doesn't connect to anything. Well, that's not useful. Okay, I'm gonna kill this bathroom here, actually, because that has its own bathroom. Okay. I'm pretty okay with that. New to the park is the Grand Hammond Hotel.
We are pleased.
Tucked back over here, a large hotel, small hotel, restroom feature with some outlying extra areas. This comes from the workshop. No offense to the author, but this is like kind of based around just some existing objects combined into a blueprint. It's not super inspired. At a glance, you could see that it, like, you could just think I put these in here, but we'll use it. I do like this little patio on the cliffside with the picnic tables, so that's nice at least. That's very good.
Transporting asset.
And it just kind of looks good tucked in back there in the woods, like away from everything else. I was hoping for a little bit more, but it is what it is. Okay, hey, that's the first confirmed kill in a proper hunt by a Coelophysis. So they will kill my Psittacosaurs. I'm shocked it took that long for it to happen. They've been in there for like 2 hours. I'm going to go ahead and move them out. The Coelophysis, that is. If I can ever find them. There's 4 of them. 5 of them. I think there's probably like, what, 6 in here or something? Maybe? Oh, there's 1. Alright, we'll put them in with the big boys here, because we do want them in this pen as well.
We are pleased to welcome Psittacosaurus.
Since they're supposed to be, you know, cleaning up after our large herbivores, having them in here is perfectly fine. Alright. Yeah, even small dinosaurs would get a ton of attention in a zoo, obviously.
Small problems can snowball if they're not dealt.
Collect an expedition, or
So let's
complete an
get on
expedition,
this.
I guess. We could do a quick stego run. Alright, who's mad over here? That is a Coelophysis. Is that the one I've set to sedate? It is. Okay. There should be like 1 clutch in here. Yeah, so if there's 6 in here, there's 6 in here. So I think that's everything, right? That should be all. We should have a lot more Coelophysis in this park, by the way, but we'll you know, we'll work on it. Alright, Notosaurs on the way. Our first clutch of Styracosaurs. Skipping the aggressive. We only got 1. I'm not even going to hatch that right now. We'll save that for a later hatch. Let's get a new one going. In the meantime, let's get these Mayas. And these Nodos. Leaving me with 5 and 3. Which I can't do much of anything with. Alright. There's nothing wrong with having a poorly designed Brad X. You're just meeting criteria. Poorly designed and Brad X go together like peanut butter and jelly.
Fine work. I respect someone who can get results and get them fast.
Oh, I guess I had multiple patterns selected. That's fine. They're like comparable. Okay, we got 4 good ones, so let's get them. I could even maybe get this one going. Nope,
To welcome
just kidding.
Dinosaurus to the park.
We still can't do those releases. Might as well process this on you. I'm just gonna keep digging Stego up, I guess. Since I started, I might as well continue. Alright. There we go. That's what I was waiting for, was a slot to clear up. I wanted to double check these. Okay, I did have 2 favorited. I was just curious. Animals. Let's do a batch of nothing because I have no genetics. Hey, Primal Gamer, how's it going? Yes, happy Valentine's Day. Storm has approached the island. Alright, shit. Yeah, lose it all. Okay, well, that's fine. The staff is mostly busy anyway, so having people get exhausted is not even going to be that big of a deal. We do have a tainted feeder. Let's make sure that is getting resolved immediately. Alright, and the Notosaurus are good. Oh yeah, we sent these silos in here and didn't really check on them. Okay, they're actually good. The game was lying to me. Cool. Did I get all of them airlifted? No, I still have 2 to move. That could have been bad. Okay, Coelophysis is moved. Psittacos. Psittacos are actually one giant herd somehow, which is crazy. They have, once again, somebody has made the sojourn. Yes, if you're not into Valentine's Day, then happy Saturday. That works too. Alright, hookworms, medical, already on the way. Cool. Okay, this one's not that bad. This was a nice, for once, this was a nice, simple storm. Not for once. We've had a few storms that have been nothing. But definitely the last few were like all pretty unpleasant back to back to back. Right, and these guys all need breaks. Because of the event that just happened. Rest. Rest. Alright, Styracosaurus, animal number 14 for the park. Unidentified ailment. On who? On you? Did you attack a fence because you're stupid? Why is your comfort 52%? Because you are somehow separated from everybody else. Interesting how that happened. I guess he panicked away from all this. Because of the helicopters? He's probably hitting the fence. Yep, definitely hitting the fence. Really dumb that even with that small of an enclosure, you can still get separated. Oh, these dislike Triceratops. Why did I think these like Triceratops? I did not remember that. I think I just had it in my head they like Triceratops because they live together in the goddamn book. Shit. Well, I need to think about what to do. Because that kind of ruins the enclosure design. We could replace them with a different animal that does cohab. Which would be like what? Chasmosaurus? And we can't put him with Stegosaur. I think we just got to replace him. What to do? What to do? Let's hold off on discarding. Yeah, I mean, we could move him to a different pen, but I like the idea of keeping the one pen. So I could just do, like, Chasmosaurus. Yeah, there is room in the big pen, but, like, I like keeping the theming of the paddocks from the novel. So... the options are like Chasmo or like Nasuto, but Nasuto is like 2015 or something for Discovery. Loki Ceratops also too new. What about Protoceratops? We could do Proto maybe? I don't hate that idea. That is safe, right? That does work, doesn't it? Yeah, Proto would work. I think Proto's the better option. I don't like Chasmo that much anyway.
Transporting asset.
Why is it on slow-mo? How did I even put it on slow-mo?
Asset has been delivered. Asset has been collected. Delivery complete.
That's fine. We'll definitely use Styracosaurus in plenty of park builds. So. Guess he's good.
An aggressive dinosaur is a risk to everything and everyone around it. This is why we take so many precautions with their enclosures.
Transportation underway.
Yeah, Styracosaurus being a novel animal does kind of suck, but at some point I do want to do like a genuine novel park build as well, but it's fine. We've already have other novel species we're not even using in this park, like Dryosaurus, so it's not that big of a deal that we're cutting this one. Kind of hate this part right here. Let's just shrink the water down a little bit. That's fine. Then it looks less bad. We could even do, we could do this. We just run the water here so it looks like it's a drainage. Like the water's draining down the hill that way. Okay. I sold 2 Cynodont fossils. That Stego expedition did not actually return much. We're going to replace the Styracosaurus with Protoceratops. It being a good-looking ceratopsian that we can use with Triceratops in place of it. It's, of course, you know, we originally picked the animal we did pick because it was in the novel, but ultimately the point is not specifically to use novel species necessarily. So I'm okay ultimately with us having to bump Styracosaurus. There's no realistic possibility of Triceratops getting cut from an adaptation of the novel, right? So it only makes sense to cut the other one. So they're currently being removed and airlifted. There should be one more stego dig. There it is. You can do it, I guess. Do I want to do it on you? Do it on you, I suppose. Then these eggs can go. We can do another synth job for something. Let's do some more notosaurs because these guys are way underpopulated. And then the Mayas were 5, so we can't do another batch. Then we'll release these guys. I guess we'll just chuck them in here wherever. I'm sure their territory includes up on the hill.
Asset transportation underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome.
Dead or Alive is getting a new thing. I have never touched a Dead or Alive game. The only thing I think of when I think of Dead or Alive is beach volleyball. Having seen that on like a game shelf and immediately judge the entire franchise based off the existence of that single thing. Yeah, definitely we need to use Cryo in the next park build, 100%. It would have been a decent stand-in for Dilophosaurus, but I think it was discovered too late. Anyway. And we won't have it in time because it's not out yet, obviously. When was Cryolophosaurus named? Collected in 9091. Specimens were named in 1994. Honestly, that's close enough that I would have rolled with it if it was already out. Cryo would have been a perfect sub for Dilo. It's like the right size for the novel Dilo and stuff too. It would have worked well.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Maya.
Asset has been delivered. Transportation underway.
Is there a weird wrinkle in the middle there? What the fuck was that about? Ratings check. 53, 66, 48. Transfer penalty, don't care. Thought I saw a bad number. Yep, 92 on Maya. Ground nuts. How are the Diplos holding up? Because we got, like, what, 8 of these? Yeah, they're, like, super good. Not even suffering.
Attention personnel. We have detected power.
Alright, little event. Increases salary and recognition of skill. Sure. We have a power outage? What is happening? Oh, this is running off backup power only. My bad. True. Okay. Well, let's rectify that situation. Actually, you know what? That can be... Oh, it also got damaged because we don't have the maintenance, right? Or do we have another stealth storm where it's not telling me there's a storm? That's in range of maintenance. That's pretty suspicious. Not gonna lie, that's looking very suspicious. You know what? I never put in these other upgrades. I never put in upgrades, period, on this. Construct 4 operational vehicle facilities. What a silly, silly unlock condition. That's a dumb one. Let's change that. Let's flag that for change. This is park team upgrades. To the notes. I don't remember where my notes are. Let me pause. I've got too many other notes that aren't that relevant. Well, whatever. Let's just make a note in Notepad. This is a better place instead of doing physical notes. Park team upgrades. We will just build the other team. I assume one of these is cheaper. Looks like we need power too. Demo for Monster Hunter Stories 3 is several secret boss encounters that weren't supposed to be beatable. Serve to tease the full game. Well, you always got to count on people outdoing expectations in games like that. They're not to be trifled with. Alright, one dummy vehicle building placed and deleted later. We can do this task. Get that running. Other upgrades I can probably slap in here real quick. Oh, that's gonna... What else did that unlock, though? Extra vehicles, additional task scheduling. Yeah. Let's not upgrade these yet. We can upgrade you. No, we can't. What? View research doesn't wait. Is this just not allowed? We did extra slots. Clicking on this does not bring anything up. I'm guessing that's a bug? Huh. Also, here's another thing we should change, right? Security cameras. We never use these, and part of the reason we never use these is they're locked behind having a fourth vehicle bay or whatever. These should just be early. Or maybe not early, but like earlier. The thing is, security cameras feel like a luxury. Like, I don't really know how to tune those in terms of unlock criteria, but I feel like they could just unlock right away, especially if we had like higher fees for lawyers. I think we have a secret storm right now that's ruining my park, which is weird. All right, staff center upgrades. We'll just do storm defense because we have it, I guess. And this can be... I guess faster research? It's not really that important. Improved yields and cheaper, I suppose. Or is this stuff just breaking down normally? Like, I don't know. Weird. Alright. Notosaur eggs. 2 more females. Yeah, the security cameras probably don't play nicely with some of the weird behavior the animals exhibit in terms of, like, hostility. We should test them, like, try to find a role for them at some point, but now's probably not the time. Well, I mean, now's definitely not the time. I'm not going to test them now. We could treat them like how they're probably supposed to work when we tune them in the research tree. Then if they ever are put in a position where they don't suck, then, like, they're ready to go. Hey, Egg Sandwich, welcome to the stream. So we got Proto unlocked. That will be our replacement animal. You can go dig that up, I suppose. And that leaves us with one more geneticist, which can be a clutch of maybe Diplos or something. Nope, just kidding. More Notosauruses. We haven't even hit double digits yet, so it's fine. Alright. Oh, let's get the power connected up for this other building. JP Era Station. Let's put it slightly in the woods. If this is supposed to be the premier, like, hotel, then maybe the power station should be concealed conceptually. Post the link to the server. Wait, for which thing? People have already beaten it. Someone's streaming the last one. Ah, I see. Okay. You're talking about the person streaming that. Yeah, we, streams are as busy as they've ever been, which is nice, but yeah, numbers have not been going up. We ain't really been growing, so. Can't be mad.
Synthesis procedure complete. Incubation personnel.
Because at least we're not losing numbers. But yeah, having 400 people watching definitely would be an experience I'm not used to. I think technically the most viewers I've ever had was like a 90-person raid doing like a Pokemon game at one point. That was already interesting. Yeah, we can... Wait, are we missing a Stego fossil? No, we just didn't have the space. Okay, yeah, let's just keep doing Notosaurs, I guess. I might stop including this in the video at this point. Actually, no, let's just do a break. Time for a rest. One vacation for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome you.
Alright, park team upgrade. So I think, like... I think for medical, this really doesn't matter. My inclination would be just like a second MVU, because if we do get an outbreak, which we won't, we'd have 2 to deal with it. But, like, it's not going to matter. But I have the money. Like, I might as well put it in there. It feels bad to not use an upgrade slot that we have available. For this one, training would be bad, maybe. But also task scheduling or ranger team. I think... I mean, task scheduling doesn't matter until you hit the limit, right? Which we're not really at. I think we do training. And then for this one, I definitely need... I think a third vehicle is definitely the way to go here. I think this one... This is the reason I did this. I think this is the upgrade that's actually worth it. Because definitely having your vehicles all be in like a weird corner of the park is a good way for you to get screwed. And you also definitely need enough posts in a park that it ends up not being sufficient. All right, 2 more Notosauruses. Okay, 7 seconds on fossils, so I guess we'll check that. All right. First off, anybody need a break? No, you're all good. Fossil check, egg. Egg. Stego, done. And Proto started. Okay. So then we got to get that exhibit going. As well. More Protoceratops on you. We should get more Coelophysis. There's supposed to be 49 of these guys, and we only have 12. Let's get another batch. Okay. The Notos are probably good to go for a while. I don't think we need to keep much of an eye on them. We can do a quick pan over here. Yep, everything looks good. I think we're going to get the Stego enclosure going. So the Stegopen is supposed to be like southern tip of the island, kind of volcanic. So like building into like the cliffs here and like this patch of rock in the middle feels pretty good to me. I don't really know another good way to make it feel volcanic. Maybe I can find something on the workshop. Like, what if we search, say, Steam? Okay, Twains? I like Twains. Okay. This is the work of a real train enthusiast. They even knows what kind of train it is. Oh man. Is it the same person? By Squeak, Leon. It's two, there's two train people. We have two different train people. Three train people. Opinions on the ASDF movie? What is this? Okay, we'll have to look for the Brad X as well. Geyser set. This is exactly it. This is what I was looking for. This looks great. I'll have to see how it looks in game actually, but that is what I was hoping to find. Because I don't want it just like a volcanic crater. We want like steam geysers, stuff that, you know, implies active volcanism without it being over the top. No Steam mod sign? Funny. I can't spell. Volcanic island, geothermal plant, more geothermal pools. Cool. We'll take a look at that too. Honestly, more of these like environmental things like this for decorations would probably be a good idea. We got train autistic people in our dinosaur autism game. Yeah, I know, right? It's okay. They're allowed to be here too. Volcano nest, not really a thing. Wetlands, a toilet building. Giant Brad X. Excellent work. Never seen an ASDF movie. What does ASDF stand for? What am I supposed to be getting from that? And there's also a Brad. We'll install this one too. We got a Brad and a Brad X. All right. So okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to clear out the trees so that I can see the environment, and we're going to try and build around that. So this is what I'm kind of envisioning for the volcanic area. Literally just the first four letters in the middle row of a QWERTY keyboard. I don't. Okay, but what is it? What are we talking about? I understand that those are letters on the keyboard and where they are, but what do that has to do with movies? I'm confused. Like, maybe it's something I know about, I'm just not thinking about it, but I'm not gonna... It's not gonna come to mind if I don't know... I don't have more of a hint. Maybe like this spot would be good. Okay, so this one's like up on a hill more. This is weird. This is just like sitting there. I think I'm gonna delete that. All right. Series of movies based on the internet's early 2000s randomness. Yeah, maybe I've never encountered this somehow. I'm a terminally online person too, which seems strange, but it's really not ringing any bells. Let's see. Do this more over here, and we'll flatten this. Or smooth this. Maybe we leave that as more of like a steeper incline there. I just liked it to be traversable for the animals if we can swing it. Looks like maybe we should raise the terrain slightly in the front here too. Yeah. But not in the middle. Okay, so we do it like around the outside, and then we leave the interior like lowered. Like that? I didn't like how shelf-like those rocks looked around the edge. Yeah, no, that looks pretty good, I think. Okay, that's pretty cool. Why did this giant-ass rock here appear? Was that part of it? Oh, I guess that was always there. I just didn't fucking remember there being a giant-ass rock. Like the animation comedy videos on YouTube made by Tom Scott. Not familiar with those either. Yeah, there's 16 of them. One literally came out this week. That actually does sound familiar vaguely now. Like compilation stuff. Or like a long-running series, rather, I guess, than compilation. But still can't remember anything about it. Yeah, boil your skin off. Alright, let's check the other one out. I thought it was... Fuck is it? Geothermal. Yeah, there we go. So this one's a little more elaborate. I think that still works fine. It's slightly... They do slightly clash in that this one is much more detailed than this one. But I think it's okay. And this one does a better job with like the shale part kind of fitting in. Okay, I guess this like veg that kind of clips through is part of it. Actually, on second thought, the veg is a little weird. How much plant stuff there is that clips through. It looks good from a distance. But when you get too close, the plants growing directly out of the rock is a little strange. Like, it looks good from here. It's only like when you get like really close, like this rock especially looks a little weird. But still very cool. Okay, so that's going to be the centerpiece of the Stegosaur pen. So I'm thinking we just connected up with this pen, and then we... What in the fuck? What happened there? Okay, so this hillside is like pretty much in line with this. Pretty much, but not quite. Okay, then yeah, I guess I'm just gonna run it like straight across here. We got this big hill here to deal with. So maybe... Kind of a big hill the whole way down. I kind of like the idea of maybe keeping most of this hill intact. So maybe we just do a little dynamic ramp action. Maybe I just want to continue straight at that point. Sure. Thoughts on the Galapagos Islands? They seem fine. I got no problems. You know, I got no beef with the Galapagos. Seems all right. Okay, then we'll need a way for the cars to get over, so maybe we want to do like another dynamic ramp over here. To like here. And then yeah, we're just gonna smooth it out. And then hopefully that is viable. The cars go down there, and they go down here. And then the rest of the hill is kind of kept the way it is. So we still have that very dramatic downslope as you come down and around into the geothermal, like this low-lying geothermal area at the end of the island. Would you be interested in a park build inspired by that? Maybe. It's possible. I have a pretty good idea of what I want to do for our next serious park, which I think will be really fun. It'll be actually somewhat analogous to that. Not exactly that, but well, I'll just say I think I want to try and find a map of a real zoo and build it in game as a dinosaur zoo. Probably not 1-to-1, right? But we like use a real zoo map as inspiration for like the layout and design of a park. When do I think we're getting a difficult patch to the game? I think difficulty is not going to be addressed for a while because not enough people are talking about it. I don't think it's on Frontier's radar as a problem yet, really. It should be. I just don't think it is. Let's put some little lakes in here too by this. That's way too low. So we'll have a dangerous game of hydrothermal pools next to drinkable water pools, which is maybe not great for the animals. Does the zoo volunteer the Columbus Zoo has a good amount of animals and types of habitats? Okay. Yeah, I haven't picked like a zoo or anything to base it off of. I was thinking the DC Zoo because I've been there, but like I have not much connection to that idea. Like I'm willing to do something else. This would be a good spot for a lake because then it can kind of be like the decoration can provide the border. I really like that. I'm not gonna lie, this is possibly shaping up to be our best exhibit in this park. I feel like this is a really nice centerpiece for an exhibit to be designed around. This is definitely the thumbnail for the episode. And then maybe we'll put another little lake over here somewhere. There's also this little gap there that could be water. So what if we did this? Okay. I think that's solid. Having that be a little water there as well. Yeah, okay. Cool. Yeah, hopefully nothing else pull a bison from Yellowstone and fall in, right? Here's hoping. We'll put in the gate over here because the car can follow the outer slope there, hopefully. And then let's get the tour running in there. More scrubland than jungle? Maybe. Obstructed by the slope? Yes. Okay, but you're willing to... Oh, it's because it's right by the fence that it can't do that? Yeesh. Interesting. I was not anticipating this being a problem, but I probably should have been. How ethical is Jurassic Park in the novel? It's like the least ethical version of the park. Okay. That one worked. I lost my tour track. I do like that we like crest this hill and then come down into this lowland. It's pretty cool, I think. I think we'll swing it around here. And then head this way. Maybe we kill this. Okay. You know what? Let's flatten that so the car doesn't go up like a weird incline at the last bit there. All right. So gyrosphere versus hydrothermal pool. It's like coughing baby versus nuclear bomb. Like we could do some like conifer stuff here, but I don't know if I feel that as much. Broadleaf forest. Interestingly bushy. That's still very jungly. How is that a brushland? Or is that like jungle stuff that stayed there as the other parts of the thing came in? Eh. Deciding what vibe I want to go with here. Not really calling me. I think we'll leave it kind of undecorated initially, so we can evaluate the environmental needs of the stegos. Focus on the paleo stuff around like here. Isn't there an arid plus forest brush? No, just arid, arid, arid. There is no arid forest. Arid and barren are their own separate things. You think this park would nuke just like in the novel? Firebombed? Yeah, I mean, maybe. Could be a thing. What trees do we have for decorations? I don't want to deal with too many decorative ones. We had to leave. What's happening here? We're building a stegosaur exhibit following off of the novel, which describes it as being volcanically active. Like, specifically, there's, like, steam geysers and stuff in the stegosaur pen in the novel. So we're, like, leaning into that aesthetic. Problem is, there's too many damn trees to, like, properly place a bunch of them. It gets annoying. That's a big ass stump. Giant red cedar. We can just add some land corals. Okay, we'll have to do this in the shitpost park. Because apparently you could just slap some coral on land. Which is pretty funny. I don't think I'm going to put a bunch of decorative stuffs. I don't think I'm going to bother. I think, I think we'll just stick with the jungle biome. So I think I'll continue this down here to kind of cover up this edge of this mountain. I want to leave this open, or more open. Then same here, we'll cover the fence line up with trees a little bit. And then we'll decorate the more interior part of the paddock when the stegos are here. We'll get their veg set up around the main hill. Okay, well, there goes some jobs finishing. That is Protoceratops. Let's get that going on maybe you. So we're completely done with expeditions. Let's get these Coelophysis going. Skittish. Fine. Sure, it can be you, I suppose. This 1 minute is yeah, that's our primary geneticist. So that'll probably be what we need for the stegos. So let's get these set up. We are, of course, using the good stegosaur. I picked blue. I thought blue stegosaurs would be fun. Something a little different. You know, these are typically green and brown. So blue with some blue and black stripes to mix the colors up. Maximizing humble, which is probably not even necessary, honestly, but might as well spend the points. 13 genetics? That might be high enough that I don't want to do that. I don't think there's any point. We're only going to have 8 of these. I don't see any need to push humble or social, honestly. I think we just do this. It's already 10 with lifespan. I hate that the preview, once you close it, doesn't match the cosmetics a lot of the time. Because it's like whatever the last one you actually hovered over, it's not what you ended on. It's like very... See, now it's blue because I ended on a blue. Even though I didn't actually change the settings. Very strange. Now, let's go check out our enclosure. This is, of course, based on the novel, where the enclosure is described as being very volcanically active. So we grabbed some nice kind of hot spring type decorations from the workshop, combined 2 of them together, and put them up against this hill that was randomly generated here for us. And then we snake the tour down the hill and around that in the lower area. So I think that'll be a nice rendition of that stegosaur paddock. Of course, now we have a storm. All right. A burned forest brush could be cool. Yeah, that would be neat. That would be... I would 100% use it here. I don't want to take a bunch of time to put down individual trees. It's not really worth it. So we're just going to do jungle trees. And yeah, we had, like, essentially burnt forest brush in the previous game. You just couldn't use it yourself. You never watched my Jurassic challenges? How did I feel about them? I thought they were piss easy. They were interesting challenges, but the lack of difficulty left a lot to be desired in my mind. And that was a little disappointing. Oh, I'm probably running on backup power because this was capped out, and I never put in another one. Yep, 12. Well, that's fine. We can worry about that later. We just want to keep an eye on if anything's going to happen here with the storm. But it seems like we're fine. Alright. Well, these guys, actually, let's put this batch of Coelophysis down here. Because we should have Coelophysis to also clean up after the Stegosaurus. So I'm going to dump them maybe like right here. And then we'll get a meat feeder like right by that corner of the road. I hate that it makes noises, like as you're just moving around. That always aggravates me because I always feel like I misclick something. Yeah, let's put it like right here between the two roadways. And then we need the ranger station that I never put in, which can go over here more by the gate. Okay, we got an injury, a major fracture. That's annoying, but we can deal with it. We should get the stegos cooking while we're doing stuff here. Only 8 enclosures? I mean, that's just kind of based exactly on the novel, but yeah. 8 enclosures for... I mean, we could fit more animals in this park with 8 enclosures, too. Alright, synthesizing stegos. Were you capped? Way. Yes. Why don't we do Way plus Bawa? And then I'm going to do a second batch of Stego right away. Coalstock plus Calvo plus Prince. That way we can get the full herd done in one go. We got a few ideas for the next park. I don't want to share them quite yet. I mean, I think I know what the next park is, but I mean, that'll be a surprise for the channel watchers, right? All right, storm is ending. Let's get this guy moved to medical, even though nobody's available to currently see to his needs. Oh, actually, the synth jobs did just finish. Just kidding. All right, yeah, treat him. Treat my son. These are batches of 3. Let's look at the skin combos. So yeah, we've got blue stripes, dark stripes. I think the dark stripes look better, but I did want to break them up with some different colors. They all came out Yukon, which is a little weird. Okay, but here we got a mangrove finally. 2 mangroves. 2 mangroves in the Yukon. Yeah, the mangroves look good with the lighter stripes. Well, I guess these are all the darker stripes. Just kidding. I lied. I lied to you. Don't take the aggressive. Because we do actually have... we can be a little choosy because we still have room. And let's get that shelter shut down, and then we're good.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a
Map. So our next park build is going to probably be the shitpost park. We'll spend like 1 week, 1 stream building just kind of a joke park full of junk. Stego's the only herbivore who can be aggressive and isn't a ceratopsian. Can Microceratus still be aggressive? Because Micro could also be aggressive. At least in 2. Debating the first animal for your sandbox park, Maya or Chung, is what you were feeling. Those are both good animals. I support either decision. Let's get another power plant in here. This is a small site B or this one? Is this the pipe one? This is the pipe one, right? No, maybe not. Well, let's use the small site B one, because it's just a different one. It does have this, like, random pipe, but I could connect this pipe to the other facility. Like that. Yeah, then it's like one big power facility. I like it. Whoops. Yeah, it's a fun little power compound. Streaming the shitpost part next Saturday. That is correct. Will Cryo make a cameo in the Copperlight post park? Yeah, probably. But I mean, I don't know. It'll be like, it doesn't really fit the vibe. I don't know. We'll think about it. Oh shit! Yeah, Microceratus is still a ceratopsian. I don't know why that didn't immediately pop into my head like that. Is Dread Empress being good? Yeah, the Rex has been well behaved. It hasn't escaped or anything. All right. All right. We expanded our little power area. Put some storm defense. Put some output. Might as well. This is a Site B power station that I had already installed. And I think it works well in conjunction with this geothermal plant because this has these pipes coming off of it. And then the pipe from this one, we can literally just clip into the roof of this other building. So it looks like they're connected. And that's kind of fun and kind of neat. And then this other bit of pipes here actually just clips back into this hillside. And looks like that's also just running back into the jungle somewhere underground. Like it kind of creates a nice vibe to this whole like compound, which is cool.
Commencing asset transit.
Second Rex is one of those things where I'm like, we'll see.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Old Deinonychus is going to be pretty much the mascot for Shitpost Park.
please resume your normal activity.
That is accurate.
Delivery complete.
Do I need another welfare person in this park, maybe? Because we've got, like, 3 genetics, but, like, realistically 2 welfare. Like, this guy can have a few more points, but he's, like, really filling in randomly. Let's try and find a new one. Faster synthesis. Doesn't really seem that good. Four and 7. Faster incubation? That's not bad. Actually, don't mind that. We could take her too, though. I think I'm going to take the incubation guy. We're going to hire a new man, Moreno, for welfare incubation specialist to combine with our other incubation people to have a little bit more of a, you know, a valuable squad here. We're going to crank that to a 6. And that should get the second batch of stegos going straight away. Oh, just barely, but still. All right, cool. So 2 stegos while we treat the Hypsilophodon is nice. These guys are missing water and meat, but you literally have it. It just happen to be the unfortunate guys that landed first and not the best spot. Actually, I kind of dumped them all here, not exactly close to the meat, but they'll find it. It'll work. Oh, and the vehicles are here. If we ride, I would like to see the hot springs from the ground. You know, I never realized we see the juvenile Rex fighting the last Stegosaur in the novel. I never made that connection, actually. I don't know why the cars cycle such a weird, like, sequence. I didn't, like, pan past it, right? Now we're just backtracking here randomly? Am I going crazy? I feel like I'm going crazy. Cycling between, like, 5 cars. What the fuck?
Asset delivery confirmed.
Like, there's cars down below. Are they too far from the station? Like, how does this work?
Pleased to welcome a
Should you require,
Asset has been
each
collected.
vehicle contains night vision goggles. Using these,
Well, we can experience the route this way, even.
animals as darkness falls.
Transit has
Oh, no, we can't. That's the hill going up. Fuck.
asset delivered.
Each species that you see on
This
route
is...
regarded as a
Yeah, it only shows me the nearby cars. Oh, wait, is it because... Oh, wait, that was a right one. Dude. Okay. Okay, we got it. This one will be fine. This is the step. Oh, geez. Whoop.
For your safety, we ask
We might want to smooth this out a little bit. This is a hell of a bump.
vehicle. And Remain seated at all
Oh God. It's not exactly a smooth ride, huh? Okay,
The
well,
most dominant dinosaur in a group is recognized as the leader.
there's the hydrothermal vents and
Changes
stuff.
in leadership are the result of conflict. Some of the more social dinosaur
You can see
species
enough of the
appreciate
colors there. Like, it's got a
status
decent
by
vibe. It looks better from the air for sure, but it's not bad. You attacking the goddamn fences, dude? Ow, you just landed. Annoying. Annoying. Very annoying. I mean, that's my fault because I didn't put them, like, initially exactly on top of the goddamn meat feeder. But, like, come on, dude. Seriously? It's very stupid. The feeder's, like, right there. Like, I wish the animals had some degree of anything resembling agency to, like, actually find their food and stuff. Because it is aggravating how artificial they feel all the time. Completely unimproved going from 2 to 3. Okay, Stegos are ready to go. This'll be fine. I'll delete the second feeder when they find the one I originally intended to be theirs. 1, 2... Somehow that was 3, I guess? Sure. I guess we should get that last. Actually, we should get some protos in. Whoops. Because we haven't... oh, I also haven't picked the skin for these. We could do that here. I like the blue one. We had red for the Styrax, so maybe we should echo that by going with the redder ones here. The purple's not bad either. We could do like red and purple. And the colors are kind of just the spots. They don't really do much. We do like red, black, and blue for the color, for the pattern color. I wish there was like any other ones that look kind of reddish brown. Like that one's not bad. Yeah, let's do that one. We'll do red and brown. I think. This one's a little too light. Just those two is probably fine. Like maybe we mix the third one in there too. Great, Sandy. I think it's close enough. 3 colors and 3 pattern colors is a good way to do it. These guys, we're all going to have a few. So we can crank them. I'm going to actually not crank lifespan because we're close enough to the end. I think this batch will be fine. All right, some protos, some stegos. We got 6 left over for one more batch of something. We have 10 Maiasaura. There should be like 17 of these or something, I think. 21. Yeah, let's get more Mayas. Alright. Disease. Okay, what do we got going on? We got a mess here. Hey, it's a good thing we got 2 mobile vets, because now we can just send one in here. Do I have a vet assigned to this building? I do, but it's the one I already sent downwind here.
We are pleased to welcome a Stegosaurus to the park.
Surface wounds times 2. Oh, we probably need a maintenance post. Yes. I'm gonna put one... Ew. Okay, I can put one here. That's not too obvious. Then we can put the 3rd maintenance team on this task because he's all the way back in the park. Yeah, we can get started on the males once the Protoceratopses are out. That seems good. And they did find the regular meat feeder, so let's scrap out this one now. Get them going where they're supposed to. And here comes the stegos. Alright, number 1. Fiber and fruit is what we need. So what I want to do, I think the cycads will look good, like clustered around the veg, or around the veg will look good clustered around the hot spring area, because it kind of matches the primordial vibe a little bit, I think. Maybe we pop that up one more. So I'm just going to kind of run it the whole way around, I think, like this. Okay, yeah, we should take a look at cleaning this up a little bit. This was pretty bad. Yeah, that was especially bad there. So I guess we just do this. Push that back that way, push it back this way, and then smooth it back out a little bit more. And then it shouldn't be such a rough ride getting up there. Oh yeah, and I needed to do something about this hillside here too, I forgot about. We got a real sharp cliff here. But it kind of just drops right into the jungle, so maybe it's not even that big of a deal. It's kind of interesting almost, except for the fact that like the texture doesn't really look good when you do the ramps. I think if we just smooth it out quickly a little bit. We can keep the steepness, but then we get rid of those weird corners. Yeah.
Asset transported.
We just try to generally smooth this weird road out a little bit. Okay. Alright. Spot check. The stegos have separated out already, which is annoying. Notosauruses are all good. I mean, this will be fine. Like, this one just isn't generating a territory quite yet. There it goes. Okay. Back to the hatchery. 2 more stegos. Good to go. We should probably start expanding this way towards the other water. Maybe we just put them like here, because this is where the one territory is. Oh, was this the 3? Oh, I released the 2 first and not the 3. That explains a little bit. I was a little confused on that. All right, Protoceratops. Looking good. Let's get a second batch of protos right away. We released 5 stegosaurs, so we need 3 more. We got 2 viable. Well, we take it. And then Myosaurs, 4 eggs. These do breed, so at some point we do need to introduce a male. We'll do that soon. We won't quite pull the trigger on males yet, because this episode is actually running long enough. I think we'll do a dedicated male breeding episode to, like, capstone the park, essentially. Okay, you ended up way the hell over there. Probably from panic with the cars. Looks like we'll probably need more ground fiber. So why don't we do this? Let's do fiber out towards the shoreline here. So we do like a field of fiber in the back. And then we do more of the cycads towards the front. That way it has that kind of vibe of like the jungle thinning out a little bit. Right? Because then you get these bigger plants here and less back towards the cliff edge as you leave. And look out over the ocean, you know? I think it works. Hey, where's my ranger team at? Guys, what the fuck is this shit? Can you explain to me what the fuck is happening here? Okay, my guy's like right here. He's almost there. That ain't great though. This is definitely the one big downside of building this like long linear park is it's kind of cool, like for a tour-centric park, to be able to like look over it like this, but the vehicles being stationed way the hell back here gets to be a problem by the end. Okay, some good ones. We can't hatch them yet. All right.
En route to pick up the asset.
Yeah, I think what we'll probably end up doing is a bonus stream during the week to get started on mails at this point. It's definitely late enough that I don't want to start another episode tonight, and I'm going to save the mails for one final episode. So we'll end up having 7 episodes, and I don't want to go an extra week, which means I do want to do one during the week. Alright, we need to get the protos out, though, before we end. Well, I think a lot of the rest of the park build is really going to be like animal spam. So definitely we're just going to kind of keep running stuff here in the hatchery about as fast as we can go. We might have the capability to do more tropes at the same time, because we're kind of backlogged there. Yeah, perfect. Perfect time to head off the backlog. Alright, so the stegos still don't have enough water, but we do have more guys coming in, so hopefully this works it out. We could also try to put in more water somewhere else here. Like, I could put in, like, a little lake and, like, maybe a small waterfall here, feeding into all this hydrothermal area. I'm going to do that. Oh, these ornithomimus are, yeah, they're already... Many of them are already quite elderly. But that's okay, you know. Ornithomimus are freaks. The males, they'll like that. They'll be fine. Yeah, that might be a better waterfall spot. Holy shit, you're thirsty. They even have that water up there counted as part of their territory. Could try and get some water in here. Do another little waterfall. I kind of like it. Alright. A little bit more of detail in here for the hydrothermal area. You know, put a little more water up here, then get a couple waterfalls. Kind of giving it that interconnected vibe. Sure, whatever. Thank you, Dua. Dua, shut up.
As I'm sure you'll agree.
The waterfall is being a little weird, but that's fine. It's coming out of the hillside a little bit. Don't worry about it. And the stegos are finally happy with me. They finally have enough water, which has been shockingly, like, this feels like a lot of water, because there's water here. I guess all this doesn't count, because it's blocked by the decoration, but, like, They have like the full ring. Well, either way, they are good to go. And we're just about to finish up the tropes. All right, so why don't we get the trope hatch going first? So yes, let's click the go button on that. Female, just the one. 3 and 6. Actually, we could do faster on this one. These guys take a little bit of time. Wait. I swear the timer said 2 minutes in the menu. Did I see 2:36? 5 minutes. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, the timer initializes at the full value. Since we initialized this when we were paused, the speed up didn't count until the timer was allowed to run. Yeah, we only have 7 stegos, correct. By getting rid of the aggressive ones, we were 1 shy. All right, Protoceratops to finish up the episode. We can get another batch going right away. Probably not the worst idea. Make sure they don't get they don't suffer from territory decay issues that way. Coelophysis looks good. Do it on you. And then we do have enough to do something else, but no space. Zero, you want a Dread Empress shot during the daylight. Looks like we got a pretty good angle. We can get it with the tail not losing its mind. How's that for you? Do you want you can do it through the weeds, or you can do it not through the weeds. We can also do capture mode and get rid of the UI, and then there's more. Okay. More space. Or more space on the screen, right? Without the UI covering stuff up. Oh, he's going in. He's going for a dip.
Asset has been collected.
That's a good looking crew of stegosaurs, I do say so.
Asset has been transported. Asset transportation under
If I do say so, that would be the better way to say that, even though they are currently losing their utter shit because of cars.
asset delivery confirmed.
Well, it's canon. The tour vehicles went into the stegosaur paddock. So it is what it is. All right. Do we have a Protoceratops on the ground? We do. Okay. You don't have your adult population, and you do have a demand for some cover. Let's put in a strip of jungle just along the back fence line, which also serves as a nicer backdrop when, you know, you're looking out there with the tour vehicles.
Being transported.
All right. Looking good. It's a good, the red is a good color here.
Asset has been transported.
No idea you've been violently shitting yourself all day. Well, shit, man. Maybe you need to eat better. What the fuck? Thank you for sharing. All right, Protoceratops eggs. Looks like a good set to me. No sign of any hostile genes on them. Let's get another clutch of fucking... We should do something that goes into the main exhibit, like the Hypsilophodon, because then we can just release them out the gate. We should be, like, running probably, like, Hypsi and Ornitho in, like, 2 of these slots essentially at all times. We'll release more of these guys, I suppose. Alright, and then we can check on our Tropognathus right as a storm comes. Seriously? Alright, get him. Alright, we're gonna get through this storm and call it a day. Do I have... Okay, I have a comfort info on one, which gives me comfort info on all. So yeah, they're fine. Alright, well... you didn't separate out, right? No, you're good. Alright, structure damaged. We gotta stay on top of these jobs here too, though, so... Psilophodons, go! Logistics guy going to break. Still releasing in progress, nothing else to run. Do we have the genetics to do a batch of another Tropognathus? Because we can have... Well, we have 4. So there were... So the thing with... I mentioned this before, right? The novel does this really weird thing where it specifically calls out that the park has 4 Pterodactylus in it. But all the population charts in the book show that there are 6 pterosaurs. And this has never been explained. And of course, Michael Crichton is now dead. So he can't tell us why that was. I might leave this as 4 for now, because depending on how close we get to having a full park, we may need the appeal to be in the form of other animals. Same reason we're not immediately doing the second Rex, because I may not include it as part of our alternate universe canonicity. I'm definitely okay with, like, when the novel gives us a weird ambiguous thing, like with the pterosaurs, erring on the side of the smaller number, just to make it more logistically easy. Well, unless something egregious breaks, yeah, we're just kind of good to go. Oh, all right then. Well, to actually end the day, I guess we do this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome our Protoceratops to the park.
Hey, that's a Hypsilophodon, not a Protoceratops. What kind of scam are you trying to pull here?
We are pleased to welcome
You're probably fine. Okay. Missing ground nut on a... Really? No, you're lying. It's you. Oh my god, please. Okay. You are missing ground nut. Why? Because your territory's done a weird thing. Okay, well there's ground nut. Stop crying. Is everybody else chill? Stop being such a goddamn baby. All the Psittacos are like up on top of the hill now. Which I guess maybe the boats panic them, making them tend to go up on the hill. Only coming down when they need water? I'm not really sure. Oh, this carnivore feeder can go. Kill that. Okay, let's get jobs distributed here at the end. Let's get ornithos. 15 is actually close to what we need. There were 16 Othnielia. So the only one we're missing is the male. 15 females, 1 males. That's kind of the distribution we're doing with everything, is like very limited males. Maybe 2 of the pterosaurs are still babies. Yeah, it could be that there were 4 Pterodactylus in the aviary proper, and then like 2 counted in the population chart that hadn't been added yet. The other possibility is, like, they're called pterosaurs on the population chart. So maybe there were 4 Pterodactylus, but like 2 Dimorphodon or something weird. Because they definitely, like, we know the Hypsilophodontids in the novel consist of both Dryosaurus and Hypsilophodon, despite them being one number. So the whole 15 species in Jurassic Park thing is not technically true for the novel. Anyway, we definitely need more Ornithomimus because we need 33 of these guys. And then releases in progress is still going on there. So I guess that's kind of it, huh? Let's get the park open for business, and then, yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there. So yeah, next time we will focus on getting out our males and having a little bit of unauthorized breeding to kind of push more towards the end of the novel, or the midpoint of the novel, I guess, populations with the juveniles. And actually, you know, make use of the primary additional new mechanic of JWE3, which is the whole point of this game existing. So, yeah, until then. All right, let's get a screenshot. Then we're going to wrap the stream up here pretty quick. I'm going to go through the amenities before we end. But yeah. So, yeah, let's think about when we should stream. Maybe I stream Tuesday or something. I think D-Rex will 100% be in the game. Like, it's, oh, this is like... This could not be more perfect. Cinema. Oh, dude. They look like the pool. I didn't even, like, put this together, like, but, like, their patterning really does echo, like, the geothermal pools. This is sick. They look so good here. I kind of want to make a whole, like, Yellowstone park. Like, all geothermal, like, themed exhibits and stuff. I did, one of my favorite park builds I ever did in JWE1, before I was recording for YouTube, was, like, I did a desert-themed park build, where every exhibit was, like, a different sub-biome. There was, like, an oasis, there was a mountain, there was like a river valley, there was like a rocky waste exhibit. Everything was like a nice like subset of a desert exhibit. And I really like that. That could be a fun thing to do for another park at some point. Yeah, no, I like this exhibit a lot. We should keep an eye out for more decorations on the workshop that like really easily allow you to do this, because this whole exhibit is built on the back of just two decorative items, and that's kind of nice. The fact that this doesn't a bunch of individually placed things; it's just two things. Really like that. All right, let's check our amenities situation. Let's check ratings in general, actually. 58, 60, 53. So income has fallen. We're now ahead on appeal versus income, which is a problem, because this number, this is the hardest number of these to raise. Safety rating is currently down, so maybe we shouldn't put much stock in that. But then, yeah, the amenities could be better. Part of the problem with the amenities is we have just the restaurant here in the aviary area, but I like this being sparse. I don't really want to cram two more amenities in here, per se. So I think I'm just going to leave it. What we will do is check all the amenities configurations. So this one's good to go. It's it's way too big for what it actually is used for, but that's fine. And then we got a set of fancy smalls, then we got a set of mediums, and then we got another set of non-fancy smalls. And these appear to be completely full. So we could definitely use more amenities over here. So what if we put in maybe we just grab a set of regular, like, JP mediums. We just sneak them in over here by this mountain. JP, I said. Okay, we got to pre-flatten because the game really still struggles with terrain elevation. Yeah, let's just get it in here that we can smooth out and like fix the rest of this up. The D-Rex will 100% just be an animal. Like, it's just going to be another hybrid, essentially. I mean, it is just another hybrid, despite what they try to label it as. The idea of mutants is the most, like, non-idea ever, because the mutants are just hybrids. Like, I really doubt there'll be anything special about the D-Rex at all. It'll just be another animal. Like, it won't have any crazy, interesting unlock conditions or anything. Like, the only possibility I could see for unlock conditions that they make is if they, like, canonize it being part sauropod. That's the only way the unlock conditions will be anything kind of interesting. Well, it really doesn't want me to place it there, so I guess I'll have to place it across the road. I can put it here in this corner. Okay, looking good. Let's configure these. Yellow's the least important, apparently. Wait, this is worth more? So this should be green. This should be yellow. That's an important thing to note, that the main one is actually more important now. It used to be the opposite. Might not be able to hunt other animals, yeah, maybe. Or to, like, have a unique kill animation where it, like, picks them up in its big dumb mitt and kills them that way. How lame is it that this is always just this, essentially? Like, you hit the higher tiers, and then it just ends up being, like, put in all three max color ones. And, like, none of these other little ones matter at all. Like, the amenity system's never been good. Like, the upgrades have always been pointless, but, like, this is technically worse. It's like taking a nothing mechanic and making it even more nothing, which is a choice, I guess. So what do we do about this one? See, this one we just can't solve. The smalls just aren't good. It's close. Yeah, just no matter what I do, it just doesn't work. So the smalls are all going to stay configured the way they are. We don't need to worry about it. Those ones are actually not producing. We do need to check these ones. Looking good. Looking good. And this one should be configured the same. Okay. Looking good. Okay. I think that's it for today then. I'm happy with the outcome. Definitely like this exhibit. it's been a fun park. This has been my favorite one I think we've done so far. I do like some of the scenario ones we did. Like, I like the idea of King Dinos more than I did the execution. It ended up being a little more tedious than I thought it was going to be because of the cooldowns with breeding. And I liked the San Diego park a lot, but it was like a really short, so it hardly counts. I like the idea. I really wish we could do more park builds centered around starting with just juveniles. But it's so tedious because you have to breed them. You're not allowed to synth them, which is stupid. It's actually crazy to me that they don't let you synth juveniles directly in Sandbox. It's like, what a weird creative decision to not allow that. It's like the most obvious thing ever. And it's just not allowed. But yeah. All right. Well, yeah, but the thing is, like, the D-Rex isn't even really like a failed T-Rex properly. Like, it's a failed, like, Indominus Rex prototype thing. Like, there was the idea that it was like going to be a failed Rex, but that didn't actually end up being what it is. So, like, the potential cool, you know, excuse you could have for generating a D-Rex is actually not really canonically correct, right? But just puts it in a lamer position. Yeah, the Frontier Way, obvious stuff not in at launch, 100%. 100%. I also hate that we can't even, like, look at the babies because they don't show up in the fucking hatchery until you've hatched them. It's, like, really annoying. Anyway, yeah, everybody, thanks for coming to the stream. I'll catch you all later. We'll continue this on Tuesday. I'll just lock it in. We'll do this as a Tuesday park build this week only to finish this. We'll try to start sooner. So maybe like 6 o'clock Central instead of 8, basically, like 2 hours earlier than today, maybe, to make sure we get it done. Because I do have a commitment that night, so I can't go as late. So if we start earlier, we end earlier, and that's how that works. Yeah, the Distortus is like canonically 3 contradictory things, 100%. But